everyone, it's Wednesday. Welcome back to Recall Knowledge presents Outlaws of Alkenstar, a show where Pathfinder enthusiasts finish your favorite adventure paths. I'm your GM, Steve, and I'm joined by Ricardo, Richard, Ninna, and Tommy. Go ahead, everyone, and say howdy, Outlaws.
Howdy.
Richard, I couldn't hear you, but I just looked like you just leaned forward and had like a
I don't know if you're
violent movement.
screaming or whispering. It was one of the two.
I've been drinking a lot of this super coffee, all right?
Oh,
Is it
God.
just a regular coffee? I'm confused.
Everyone who's joining us for the first time, I'm not sure why, but welcome. Everyone that's been with us before, welcome back or happy with us again here on the finale of Outlaws of Alkenstar, the Smoking Gun, the campaign we started just over a year and a half ago or so, I think. Well before Easter of 2022, I know that much. Yeah, so it's been going on a while. So we've been trying to get through this last book, and essentially real life and scheduling conflicts have been kicking our ass. And so
we haven't missed a week.
We haven't missed a week, wink. But we wanted to make sure that when we could get everyone together, we hit the fast forward on the fast forward. So essentially what we're going to do is fast forward to the final fight of the book. We're going to have our showdown tonight. And by the end of tonight's episode, the campaign will be over one way or another. And it's up to the players and the dice to see how it ends. So I am very excited and worried for you guys, but also, you know, just in awe that we made it here when we started the show so long ago. So I'm super excited. Now, because we're short on time with so much to do, we're not going to do our regularly scheduled Molten hosting sponsor bit where we give a little dramatic. Yeah. And the cast was reading what we had planned, and I think it's probably better it never sees the light of day.
Maybe the Patreons can see it.
Yeah.
Just copy paste it for the Patreons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Maya in chat says it's a shame.
You guys will be in for a treat.
I can copy paste and share it with the patrons on our Patreon. That'll be our gift, our parting gift to you, I suppose. But just because we're not doing a Molten hosting sponsor bit doesn't mean they're not the sponsors of the show. So huge shout out to our sponsor for the night, Molten hosting. Molten hosting.
They're so hot. Always.
They're not cold.
Molten hosting does provide cloud hosting for your Foundry VTT instance. So if you want to have your players connect, you don't want to have to worry about them connecting to your computer, opening firewall, worrying about bandwidth. Host it in the cloud. You'll be up and running within minutes. It's super easy to do. All kinds of awesome features, including automated backups, FTP and web dev access to your files, so you can just drag and drop things just like it was your local computer. Hit start on the server. You're ready to go. Give them a look, and definitely use that referral code Recall Knowledge.
One word.
One word.
Oh, it's the last time we're going to say that.
For this campaign.
For this campaign, yeah. With that one word, you guys are going to get an entire 30-day trial for free on the show and on Molten Hosting. They've partnered with us for that. So normally you get like a 7-day trial. You get a whole month of service, whatever tier you decide to go for. And once you use it, you won't go back. It is absolutely amazing. So thank you, Molten Hosting, for being with us the entire campaign.
And if they have any feedback options, make sure you want to see the return of the Molten Cowboy. So.
Mm-hmm.
I was just gonna say, I'm sure Mike is so happy that we aren't doing some like cringe content to promote his stuff.
Probably. He finally replaced our video on the front page with our meth addicted service.
Oh no.
I was on the front page for like 2 years.
Oh my goodness.
He's got a new video on there. So
Is it still
it was
us?
nice while it lasted. What's that? No, it's
Is it
not.
still us?
It's somebody else made a cool video that kind of showcases the service in a more business friendly
You
way.
mean our ad talking about meth wasn't good enough?
Bullshit. Get the script. We're going. Tusk Love. Called out.
Yep. So you heard it, Mike. We want our video back on the front page. At least you can put it like on the bottom of the front page, right?
It's hidden somewhere where we still have the accolades, but you don't have to deal with the feedback.
Besides that, we're going to jump right into the action tonight. We're basically going to get started with a little vignette. We're going to start some combat, and we're going to hopefully roll some crits. Hopefully from your side to the other. Now, it is our last show, if you guys have been saving up those channel points, it is a good time to cash them in. We got some plot armor. Do we have them all enabled? Yes, we do. Hero points are enabled. Plot armors are enabled. If you want to give your favorite character a little help to get him through this episode, maybe stave off a crit, now is your time to cash in those coins. Otherwise,
Shit.
Rick, why don't you go ahead and start up that dance party for us?
Celebrate.
Man, this feels weird without doing the cringe before. This is even recall knowledge.
I know, it doesn't feel right without the cringe.
Somebody say something cringed right now. Go. No one?
Cringe.
I know, that's
goddamn
what
it.
I was thinking.
You didn't even do
cringe.
your shit dad joke beforehand,
Oh,
Richard.
there will be plenty of cringe when I attempt in super air quotes to do an Anjelique Loveless accent on the fly that I did not rehearse at all.
I don't have enough coffee for this.
Steve, paint me like one of your French girls.
Oh my
We
god.
believe in you.
I am
There
totally
you go.
going
That's
to
the
Ruffy Kill
cringe.
for that
There
one.
you go.
He deserves it.
All right, let's go. We're going to jump into episode. So viewers, you can go ahead and sit back and relax. But players, let's jump into episode 3, the finale of Outlaws of Alkenstar, The Smoking Gun, written by Cole Kronwitter. Let's run the cinematic and then let's get into the action. Where's the cinematic? The sound of dripping water fills our ears as the scene fades in from black. We see a flooded temple, its ceiling opened to the night sky above. A large orange hunter's moon hangs ominously over the temple, giving the scene an eerie glow. Footsteps slosh through the waters as a river hag waddles toward the center of the chamber, hunched over. She shambles up onto the altar in the center of the room and casts off her tattered coat into the water. We can see now her large stomach. She squats down, muttering ancient primal incantations that echo off the walls of the empty chamber. And then a plop. A small child with large elven ears falls down onto the altar. The hag, pleased with herself, scoops up the baby and holds her by the feet upside down, admiring her work. With a slap on the bottom, the baby gurgles up some phlegm and begins crying. Tearing into the umbilical cord with her teeth, the hag pulls the baby closer to inspect her face. The grin of her sharp teeth, filled with gooey bits of cord and rotting fish, fills our screen. And then the face of the baby fills our view. No longer crying, but eyeing the hag curiously. One eye is gunmetal gray, the other a piercing amber. And as we pull back a bit, we see our scene has shifted. The baby, placed in a basket, has been left on the porch of a temple. We see the door open and a middle-aged man dressed in beautiful clothes stares down at the baby. As he crouches down and looks, we can see he knows her origins. He stares at this child of the hag, his arch enemy, and draws his dagger. But something steadies his hand. The baby, giggling, reaches out for it playfully. And with no further hesitation, he picks up the basket, brings the baby inside, and closes the door. We flash forward a few years. Anjelique, now in her teenage years, at the small temple with her father. A holy man, a paladin by many terms in the world, works to train her in the ways of honor, service, humility, compassion. We see her diligently listen to his words, nodding along. But as she slips away to her room, checking to see if her father is watching, she slides a box out from under her bed. As it opens, we see various small animals, frogs, lizards, butterflies, all pinned there, still moving, if just barely. As she smiles, she reaches for the small dagger and begins to cut open the frog, gleefully torturing the creatures as she studies its insides. Another cut. Anjelique looks to be nearly 20 years old. Another argument with her father. Why couldn't he just understand? No, the thief caught for the third time doesn't deserve a second chance or a fourth chance. Why was he so blind to the truth? And there, waiting in her room, was her mother. The hag grins, her yellowing teeth still rotting with the fish. And she told Anjelique the truth, that she was a changeling, destined for so much more. It's time for her to come home. All she has to do is what she already wants to: kill her father. The scared girl recoils at this, refusing. She grabs her hidden knife and advances onto the hag, but is easily dispatched, her wooden staff sending her unconscious to the floor. In the doorway, the paladin appears, his glistening holy avenger in hand. As the two engage, we see it through Anjelique's eyes, fading to black slowly as she slips away into unconsciousness. When she awakes, her father is dead, slain by her mother. We see an older Loveless now, less smiles on her face. She's swinging the holy sword in rage, avenging her father, killing her mother. Not for the greater good, as she had been taught, not to protect others, but purely for one reason: vengeance. The hag's head comes off clean, her mouth stuck in a now permanent grin, just as planned. Lost without purpose, Anjelique wandered the wasteland, her father's blade in one hand, her mother's staff in the other. Upon lucky chance, she was found by a patrol who saved her life. When she awoke, she found herself in an unfamiliar place: the newly formed city of Alkenstar. The man who saved her, Ansel Alkenstar, admired her blade and invited her to help him do something good in this world, create a new home here, outside the rule of Nex, away from the armies of Geb, free from their wars, a chance to start over, create something beautiful. And as he hands her back her blade, she hears her father's voice, remembering all the lessons he gave her. She agrees. And for 100 years, she served faithfully as a shield marshal. She protected the budding civilization from threats, mutant raids, would-be thieves, people who preyed on the weakness of others. They must be stopped. She promised her father she would honor his death with making her life worth something. And as Alkenstar partnered with the dwarfs to secure defenses, She worked with their master smiths to reforge her parents' weapons. Her mother's staff becomes a long gun she keeps at her side, imbued with the magical wood bursting with primal energy. Her father's holy blade became a small silver pistol tucked into her waistband. A piece of him always with her. And over those 100 years, she did a good job. Brutal, yes, but efficient. But as time wore on, those intrusive thoughts remained. She started spending more time in the wastelands, away from the city. Less time with the people. Whenever she was forced to interact with them, she grew annoyed at their weakness. The tough, self-sufficient city she had helped grow had turned into a mockery of itself. How could they sit here and drink their ice wine, grow fat in their high-rises, worry about making coin, relying on the clockworks for defense? Did they not know the threats out there that she has seen? The darkness that could swallow this city at a moment's notice. She alone had to be the one to protect them. They couldn't see it yet, but they would. They would all see it when she demonstrated the dangers of this world. Better it happens under her guidance than somebody who actually wanted to see Alkenstar destroyed. Yes, that's it. She would put together an attack on the city, working with patsies from Nex and Geb, a reminder of the enemies beyond the border. She would blow up their precious cargo, explode half of Castle Alkenstar. That would get their attention. Laws would be passed. Power would be given back to the shield marshals. Laws could be enacted. Citizens would be required to serve, to see the dangers firsthand, to dirty their hands, break some bones, and earn this precious life they take for granted. Yes, of course. They will understand in time why I must blow up the city, so we can rebuild stronger, reforge stronger, rise out of the tragedy into something better. The camera sits on Anjelique Loveless's face. The riverboat trods down the Ostrati River, her amber eye staring back out over the scene. The cackling of a hag can be heard quietly, constantly clouding her judgment these days. We hear a voice trying to get her attention. Loveless, the gruff voice says. They're here. They just disabled the elephant. Is that so, Ginthrak? Very well. These outlaws have been a thorn in my side for long enough. Ibrium, activate the contingency plan. I'll deal with them. Grabbing her long gun, she strides back out of the control room. And as she steps out onto the open air deck, flanked by Ginthrak to one side and a pair of dwarven shield marshals on the other, her long hair catches in the wind. The sounds of spurs jingling in the middle of an otherwise empty deck. The passengers deep down below in the belly of the ship sleeping. Empty gaming tables filled the deck, the last few holdouts running for cover as the glass elephant was destroyed. And as she leans over the railing looking down on the entertainment deck, she sees them. These pesky, insignificant outlaws. Well then, long time no see, Halbrand. Last time I let you live. Do not think I will make the same mistake again.
Believe me, Loveless, there's no love lost between us.
Looking at the scene, right? You guys are on this open deck on the top side of the ship. She's kind of on this like balcony high with like two large staircases that rise. It's the highest level where the captain's quarters is. So you guys are kind of one deck down looking up at her. There's a shattered, busted glass elephant with a pyronite bomb in the middle that you guys have diffused recently. But this giant shards of glass still provides like a little bit of cover. And you can kind of see her face distorted through the broken glass. And she's standing there, and Saruk, your eyes go up, and possibly Rufikil too, because you guys recognize the large buff orc man at her side, covered in tattoos up his neck. This is Gimthrak himself again.
Right. I think we need to hear Loveless tell her own story in her own words. Right? I want to hear her perspective from her own voice. Right?
No, definitely not. You did hear it in her own voice. It was her thought. She doesn't have an accent in her brain.
Her internal monologue just
Her
sounds
internal
like
monologue.
her
Yeah.
eating.
Ruffy just glances over at Saruk and sees how he's doing.
He sees him press a button on his back, and out comes the big fuck off cannon. And I don't think Sirk has words.
Along with the plot armor that he got in chat.
Yeah, chat has just redeemed a plot armor for Saruk. So Hollowed RPG
Thanks,
has
chat.
given Tommy.
Ruffy grins,
Saruk.
almost more of a snarl, showing his fangs, looks back up at Grimthak and just hand hovering over his pistol.
So as we jump way ahead on to the last thing, feel free to tell me no, but
Huh?
unsure of timeline and how things are going on in the nebulous state of a couple of Clockwork Boys that I might have reprogrammed to listen to the words of me instead of the words of them. Can I summon them? Couldn't they have been here? Did we have a lot of time to set this up?
You mean you definitely had time to set this up?
Give me my minions.
Trying to remember. Do anyone remember how many I know we reprogrammed at least one, and you had him like
It was
doing the door.
2. There were 2 that were answering to me instead of answering to whoever had.
Let me go pull them out of the cargo hold.
Somebody's gonna listen to this back. No, it was a different number, but if it's a lot of extra work and you don't want to dig them up, like by all means don't do it. And I got these guns and that's all I need. But it's my other guns.
And those beautiful shiny tusks.
God damn it. Don't spoil the Patreon content. Don't spoil the smut.
I just got to change the alliance on them real quick so that they are now allies.
Well, if you thought your Baldur's Gate 3 romances were good, no, it's the Outlaws of Alkenstar romances. Those are the good ones.
Okay. So you got the 2 Clockworks flanking you. You guys should all be rested, fully healed. If you have any damage on you, make sure you mark it off. I see Ruffy's got a little bit of damage. I don't want you going into this like chipped up from this random non-existent thing.
May I also perhaps have a crumb of my Celestial Jaguar friend?
So we can't see anything over here, right? Because that's...
I think you should be able to see it, but no, anything that's like farther back is definitely not, like these guys in the back are not in vision, but like anyone like right on the railing, you can definitely see. So you can see Loveless and Gimthrak here on the railing.
Okay.
It's about like the staircase is about 8 to 10 feet. So if you go to this wall, you still would have to climb up to get over the railing, but the staircases also offer a walkway straight up there. Right under them is like a doorway that like leads into like some of the rooms of the ship as well, but you guys are on the open air deck portion of it. So as this sort of like scene unfolds, like Anita, like there's a lot of like drama with them and seeing a lot of old allies and enemies coming up, but you start to notice a strange vibration that you're in tune with, because this whole ship is loud, shaking, but you start noticing something a little strange that you pick up on before anyone else. And I think it's a weird feeling. Like you actually feel like the hair on the back of your neck start to like raise a little bit, and there's like the static electricity of the air sort of grows big. And as you kind of glance over the side of the ship, you just see like this like flashing green, like flash, like strobe light that starts flickering off the side of the ship.
Behind Loveless and Gimthrak?
No, off the side. So like down the like the north and south side of the ship.
Oh shit.
Is that his first thought is oh shit?
Yes, and she'll initially say like oh shit, and then look around to her companions and say, there's a contingency plan and we have to do something about it.
Step 1, and then I start pointing back at close up.
Anyone has any sort of like primal lore or otherwise wants to potentially make an Arcana check here?
Hang on. There.
Could also be occultism.
I've had what is, how does it, bomb lore good? Probably not.
I think we prepped bomb lore for this day, right?
Yeah, I did.
You let it change it midday? Because so you would have had time.
I have a feat. Hang on. Just kidding. I retrained the feat. Heck, I missed cognitive crossover. Fuck. Yeah, Saruk has no context. Is
Time
it
to start a new run?
right? Would it be weird if like Saruk was standing like here as opposed to like behind? I can't imagine him being anything other than get in front of friends when guns are about to go off.
I mean, you can reposition yourself. This section here where the elephant is, I left the elephant here. The elephant's broken and it's currently toppled over, and there's shards of glass everywhere. So you can kind of lean up against the elephant as cover if you want to like take cover behind the elephant. But standing on the elephant itself will basically be like kind of uneven ground if you wanted to go on that square.
No, what it'll be that time Reffy was in the bar, except not a bull.
But if you want to reposition yourself, feel free to reposition yourself where you think your characters would be at the start of this scene.
Tight. Probably something like that.
Running around like safety.
Nope. Gets behind nearest chair.
So anyone, I don't know, do we have anyone actually trained in Arcana or Occultism?
Not me.
I have academia lore. Would it be in a book?
You know what? I'll allow an academia lore here. Yeah, it's tied to something that would probably be taught at Blither.
I am trained in Arcana. I lied. Blind Sham. I forgot I was an investigator. So I'm trained in fucking everything.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Question marks it is.
All right.
Hello, sir. Oh, there you go.
Do you have any feats related to recon knowledge checks, Saruk? Like dubious knowledge?
No, I fumbled, didn't I? Heck.
Question marks.
I am just reading. Hang on.
So Anita gave me an acrobatics check for some reason. I don't know what that was for, but I'll take the roll. It's fine.
Oh, wait. No, here.
So Anita, you're unable to come up with any logical explanation of what you're seeing, these green arcs or anything, unlike anything you've ever seen, especially in this region of Alkenstar. Your mind immediately goes to like magic of some sort, but your knowledge and studies of magic is so limited that it could be anything and you're not sure. Saruk, you immediately recognize these green ripples as the entire ship is about to be sucked into a portal and probably dropped into another dimension.
I don't think Saruk waits. I think, oh no, bad things are happening and we're just gonna start making lead fly.
Yeah. And in that case, as everyone goes for their like weapons for the, possibly last time, and everyone go ahead and roll me initiative.
Whoa!
Oh yeah. I'm gonna say this one out loud instead of putting it in the Discord. Friendly reminder, kids, stay within 15 feet of your champion.
Ooh, 32.
Oh, 21. Terrible.
You wanna
That's-
switch?
I rolled a 3.
Jesus, guys. Yes.
A one.
I love how both of the people who I have leads on are just standing right in front of me.
All leads led to here, right?
Meta.
So Angelique Loveless somehow rolled a natural 1.
She was too busy thinking about the hag in her past.
These bonuses don't include your. Does this include all your bonuses you're getting for link scouting and stuff?
Oh right.
I did not include anything.
So I'm at 26.
So let's see.
It wouldn't make a difference. I'd still be at the bottom.
Kyle has a battlefield surveyor, so I get a +2 no matter what.
Got it. That 35 that 35 included your +2.
Mm-hmm.
That would put me to, if we have the scouting bonus, that would put me to 34.
Yeah, I don't think it would change the ordering of this though, because they have 35. So
I went from a 24 to a 26. I'm gonna print this feat. I didn't think Pilgrim's Token was ever gonna come up, so I win ties.
Got it. So yeah, so Saruk had 24, bumped up to 26, and that breaks the tie with the existing 26 from Gimthrak. All right.
Reffy's still sad that we broke the elephant.
Just staring down. Damn it! I didn't get to ride it.
This is why we can't have nice things.
It's because of me. Smash cut
Well-
to Ruffy is just punching a glass elephant to death. Also, Steve, would you mind Clockwork 1 and Clockwork 2, who I do not have control over?
That's true. I have to get them and have initiatives. All right, we'll just run them like that. All right, Halbrand, you are first to go.
I think Hal is going to.
Oh, one last thing I got to do before I forget. We got the plot armor for Saruk. All right, Twitch bonus activated. Sorry, go ahead, Hal.
Going up the stairs, difficult terrain, correct.
Yeah, every square going up the stairs is difficult terrain.
So that's going to take me to 40. And I should be able to get here to this guy, right?
Yeah, you got plenty of movement speed, right?
Yeah, I can go 40-40 if I dash. But I have a feat that lets me go dash strike, right? Doesn't look like I can do either one. So I think I'm going to just stride twice and then strike this first person I come upon with a snagging strike.
Perfect.
Let me make the strike. Cha. That is a 33
That is a hit.
for 27 damage.
Nice.
And I have a fearsome rune on my Kopesh. I'm not really sure what that does.
I think if you crit, it adds like a frighten. They have to make a frighten save, but you have to double check what fearsome rune actually is.
When you critically hit, yep, frightened one.
So yeah, there's no save. If you critically hit, they become frighten one. So it's not a crit, so it didn't apply. Perfect.
That's my turn.
All right, up next. So the guy that you hit gets his turn. So he's got his like Giselle out, and you come rushing up so fast. Interesting. So he will. Yeah, he's gonna use his first action, which is called Lawbringer, and he's gonna mark you for judgment. So you are now his like target, Hal. So he gets a +10 circumstance bonus towards striding towards you. He also does an extra 2d8 precision damage when he hits you with the strike. Then he's going to basically bring the Giselle at like a point blank range, and he's going to attempt to blast you with it. Now this is a ranged attack in range. Does that trigger opportunity strike? You know what? It's still opportunity strike for this campaign, but they're changing the name of it to something else. Don't remember what it is.
Attack of circumstance.
Something like that. Okay, making a ranged attack. So yeah, he pulls up his gun to blast you at point blank range, which does trigger your opportunity attack if you'd like to take it, Hal.
Good thing it's not going against Anita, who now has plot armor thanks to Mechamaya.
Ooh,
thank
Mechamaya
you,
gives
Maya.
Anita plot armor.
Anita and I have to live, otherwise this party goes to chaos.
I'm
25
talking
is a
lot.
hit.
Nobody can hear me. 21 damage. And because I have a new feat called for today that is called Disorienting Opening, that creature is now flat-footed until the start of my next turn, regardless.
Okay, he was already snagged anyways, right? Okay, so that is good to know though. Okay, so he brings up his Giselle and he makes his strike against you, Hal. That's a 30.
Mm-hmm.
That's a hit, not a crit. So 14 points of concussive damage. And then with his last, he doesn't have, he should have an unarmed strike, and he doesn't have one. So I'm just gonna roll it like with this. But for his last thing, he
Maybe he
uses
doesn't have arms.
Just looks down, has no hands.
he's using reloading strike. So he's gonna make a strike against you with his melee bonus, which is here,
Oh, that's my thing.
which is miss, but it does allow him to reload his weapon as he does so. And that's his turn. All right, Anita.
All right. So what Anita would do is yell at Loveless and say, "Oi, Loveless! Did you really think we'd let you come pioneer all over Alkenstar with this dildo?"
What
And
the
then-
fuck?
Yeah. And then, what's his name? Wybert is gonna run. I'm gonna command Wybert using 2 actions, so that would give him 3. And then with his 40 feet of movement, he's gonna use 2 actions to go right here.
You can't go up that wall, right? That is a wall.
Oh, it's a wall, my bad. So the stairs.
Yeah, he'll probably use the stairs unless he wants to take a climb action and climb the wall. And the stairs, each square of going up the stairs is difficult terrain as well.
And the tables and chairs as well, yeah?
Not worrying about those so much. I think they've been scattered quite a bit already.
Okay. Is the elephant in the room like shattered in the sense that it's just glass?
So there are big chunks of it still that you can use for cover, but going across any of those squares, those 9 squares in the middle, is basically like stepping on like broken glass. Wybert, I don't think I'm too worried about Wybert. He's just gonna he's not gonna get cut by it, but you have the potential to take damage from moving across it.
Okay. Well, I would just like to get Wybert right here. 70 feet. I wouldn't have enough, because it's 10 feet per square on the stairs.
Yeah, so it'd be 10 extra, so you could move. Is the speed is what, 35? Oh, yeah. So if your speed is 80, then you can go up to 70, including the square. So you could get there, yeah.
Okay, perfect. So that's what we'll do. Up, up, up. Okay, and since my innovation is now a breakthrough, I can do like a 10-foot emanation. So, oh, fudge. Maybe right here. Actually, no, that's fine. Just 5 feet then. And then I use 2 actions to give Wybert 3. So I would still have 1 action.
Correct.
That I would use to explode.
Okay.
So that's 8d6 of fire damage.
So Wybert just runs up and then is basically a ticking time bomb that you explode next to Loveless.
This is my unstable check to see if my baby's gonna be smoking the whole time. Nah. Would that be a critical fail? Oh, 17.
DC 17. That is a critical fail. Oops, I just clicked that. I didn't mean to click that. I think unstable checks can critically fail, right?
Yeah, because it says on a critical fail, he also takes damage.
Yeah, so he'll take 10 fire damage.
Yeah, that's okay. So that's 8d6 of fire damage.
And are you doing a 10-foot emanation from him like this?
Yeah. So does that hit Gimthrak?
It does not.
That's fine. I'll take Loveless and this little dwarf. So 8d6, right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. So that's a total of 28 points of fire damage.
Do you know what the DC for the save is?
The explosion deals level damage with a DC 0 basic reflex to all creatures in a 5-foot emanation.
The 0 is definitely not correct.
Don't say.
That's why I'm wondering what the actual DC is.
Or class DC question mark?
And I need to add another d6 because it starts off with 2d6. So I would have 9d6.
Okay. And your class DC is 29, so I'm going to use the DC as 29. So they both succeed, so they'll take half damage.
Wait. This is the new one because I used d8s.
Okay.
Oh, nice. 31 plus 1 more. 6. So 37 points of fire damage to Loveless and the wolf, the minion.
Okay. They both succeed, so they both take 18.
Okay, and then Wybert still has 1 more action, so he would do a Wybert smash on this fella right here.
Okay.
Wybert smash. Roll. For a 24.
24 will miss.
Okay, that's it for our turn.
All right, the other shield marshal gets their turn. Yeah, I mean, I guess he will do the same thing. So he designates Wybert as his Lawbringer target. Targets Wybert. Does Wybert have opportunity attack?
No. My baby.
Okay, that's a 36, which is a hit, but not a crit.
Oh, thank God.
And Wybert takes 21 points of concussive damage.
Okay.
Then follows it up with a reloading strike, which misses. Should have a minus on that even, but he does reload his weapon.
Okay.
All right.
Clang goes the man's knuckles as he punches just a solid steel robot.
So this is where things get interesting. The energy that's been building up around the side of the ship as you guys do this, it finally comes to fruition. And what happens is, I'm trying to find where the passage explains it. Like the camera cuts back a little bit. We see on the side of the ship, there are lots of these runes embedded all over the side of the ship that are glowing green, and they've been charging energy from the Ostrati River, like this whole riverboat excursion. And there's all these like advanced magical contraptions in the ship, but essentially it's been leeching primal magic from the river this entire riverboat cruise, and they're beginning to pulse. And Ibrium, the mage who's in the other side in the control room, has like replaced his skin with like jagged sharp glass. And when he sees his control panel lit up and he looks around, he pulls the switch, and immediately you guys watch as green strands and yellow and blue and all these colors of lightning energy wrap around the ship. And immediately the whole ship goes weightless. And Saruk, you're being sucked into another dimension just like you knew was going to happen.
Well,
but you all get a sinking feeling in your stomach. Anybody who's ever ridden a roller coaster, you'd recognize what we call negative G-force. But for all the poor souls on the board of the ship, all the hundreds of passengers down below, the ship instantly teleports itself. It does not, in fact, Saruk, take you to another dimension. It does, however, appear right in the center of Alkenstar.
hold on.
So the scene has changed. You should now see the waterfall beneath you. The ship lands a few, maybe 5-10 feet above the river and falls down with a thud, crashing, sending everyone stumbling to hold their balance. And the ship crashes and splinters, and you see it's now teetering half and half right on the edge of Alkenstar Falls. You look over the ship to the right, you see Alkenstar Castle poised there within blast radius. To the left, you see Hellside, its rickety wooden features down below you. If this thing goes off, it's going to go off in the heart of Alkenstar, in the place you guys call home. And you've instantly been teleported here to Alkenstar Falls. From now on, this sort of ship rocking on this teetering edge of the thing is going to cause some battlefield complications. At the start of your turn, you're going to have to fight against the tilt of the ship. So these creatures go first, which are your clockwork creatures, and they're going to try to make a fortitude save against the rocking of the ship. 25 is a failure. They stumble 10 feet forward at the start of their turn.
Acrobatics would have nothing to do with this?
It's a save, so it's either fortitude or reflex save, depending on if you want to steady yourself or if you want to try to ride it, right? It's your choice. And this creature is now flat-footed until the start of the next round. Okay, but it does get to go, though. It will just charge forward into combat.
Ruffy looks at the castle and shoots the Pyre Knight.
No.
I mean, that's not true. That's true. There is some Pyre Knight in the middle of the elephant.
I feel like we would have done something about that because okay, we got it. Let's just leave the bomb here in the middle of a firefight. I think not.
You definitely disabled the remote trigger that Loveless has done.
It's in Wybert's butt. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Stop making it weird. Just put it in the robot's butt.
So he just uses all his actions to charge up there. Saruk, it is your turn.
Alrighty, so I assume at the top of the turn is when you want the save.
That is true. So you can make a fortitude or a reflex save, your choice.
Kijak and I are going to both make fort saves about it. Yeah. Yike. 21 for Saruk and a 29 for Kijak.
So, Saruk, you stumble 10 feet this way and are flat-footed until the start of next round. Kijak does not.
Tight. Okay, so then before I go any farther, if I'm metagaming, you can throw something due east and it'll get here eventually. Is Anjelique actually flat-footed? Does she, like, is there some kind of, like, visual cue to indicate?
That's a good point. She is not. I don't know how she got marked flat-footed.
Tight. Kim Thragonis. As my first action, say it with me, kids. One last time, except I'm also going to do this next round, so just kidding. Untap, upkeep.
Devise a
Stratagem!
stratagem.
Hey, you didn't use
Nine!
macro.
No.
28. I hate that. Yeah, fuck it. Would a 28 hit? Or rather, just kidding. It wouldn't be a 28. It would be must math in public hate. Okay, never mind. The ballista has none runes in it. It is a flat out 28.
Yeah, 28 does indeed hit.
Okie doke. So from here until the end of the campaign, all of my attacks are non-lethal. I guess the fiction of this is like I don't actually spear somebody with a ballista bolt. It's just like it's going in such a way that they are dodging and like wearing themselves out as like the bolts are careening down the waterfall. Saruk has very little to say and is just roaring.
You put a giant boxing glove on the end of the bolt. So
Go gadget boxing glove.
Yeah, right.
No, I'm not
That's
the
how I
inventor. Okay, so show me big number. Yeah, 18 points of non-lethal piercing damage.
All right, 18 points of damage.
Second action, let's interact to draw the barricade buster. Good Daka. And then I guess for my last action, so do the stairs look steep enough that if like, oh no, ship is turning and then I'm pushed into them, will I be pushed up them? Or is it like a V shape that I'm going to land in the middle of?
I think you would be pushed up them, but like as difficult terrain.
Good enough for me. Okay, so let's... I don't remember what my speed is. Let's move forward 15, 25. That will be my turn.
Okay.
Pick someone to be flat-footed.
Richard, you beautiful, beautiful man.
Weird.
It's... I'm not jealous at all. No. So it's like as it goes sailing, it knocks Gimthrak back a bit, such that like there's obviously Hal can look over and see there's an opening. Gimthrak is flat-footed to Halberd's next strike.
Okay, by our powers combined, we have a head full of a lot of hair.
And like
Gimthrak actually does fail his saving throw, so he does stumble backwards as well. He got like a 3 on his dice or something like that, so he's flat-footed to everyone as well.
Here's an interesting question. Is this like considerably taller than the rest of the ship? I assume it is.
Yes, so this is like a separate structure. It's basically an entire building. It's like, 8-10 feet tall. There's a door in the center of it. You can go into it. There are rooms and such in there. And like there's tons of windows here, but all the windows are currently like shuttered closed with like metal.
So like this square might be, oh no, you fall down the waterfall. This square is not.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Even if you went here, you're probably bouncing off the wood. It'd be very mean of me to make you bounce off into the ocean, but you never know. If for some reason the next turn, maybe the boat shifts in a different direction, you might be falling north, south, east, west. It's not necessarily gonna be the same direction every turn.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Gimthrak has this feature and I'm not seeing it, but it's been a few weeks since I... Okay. So Gimthrak spots his old buddy. So he basically is able to rush to here with 30 feet of movement and kind of like looks down. And you look up Saruk and he's already bigger than you anyways. And now he's at the top of the staircase smiling at you. And he's like, Tiny, you could have just gone to jail. Now I gotta kill you.
We'll have words in Matakali. Spins the barrel.
He has to take a second stride because the stumbleback actually put him just out of stride range on you, which is really good for you. And then he's going to basically bring his like light hammer and just swing it down on you. 26 is a miss.
Strook raises the barrel of his gun and just knocks it aside.
Yeah, geez. Okay, not a good turn for Gimthrak. All right. I think Loveless starts by looking at the clockwork creature that's come up on her. And, she needs to make her save, doesn't she?
She looks at the clockwork creature, then falls immediately. Ah, damn
A
it.
43 on her reflex saving throw, so she's not affected by the ship at all. She's not flat-footed. She will basically take the back of her stock, and she's going to make a melee strike against the creature and hit it with the stock of her. 35 is a hit.
Yes.
So she deals
Ninna, you're real happy the bad guys are hitting.
10 points of damage to the Clockwork Buccaneer, which I guess it's actually got 10 physical resistance, so it actually takes no damage.
Oh, sorry. I thought it was on Wybert.
It's even worse.
I have clockwork babies now too.
Sorry.
So she's doing something secretly.
Yeah.
Or is anybody in the party in like perception range? Or I don't know if that's pointed to.
The only one that's close enough to see it is Wybert, and I don't think he's...
Albert, tell us what's going on.
Unless she's secretly killing dogs. I don't know if Wybert cares.
Hal, can you make... Actually, it would be against Hal's perception DC. So no, Hal does not notice what's going on either. Then she takes a little step back this way.
God, she's gonna blow us up.
A little step across the deck.
She brings her weapon up, and she actually targets Hal.
No.
And she takes her second shot with her Hex Blaster. Well, that's 26, which is a miss. And all the enemies have been unsuccessful at everything they tried to do, essentially. Amazing. Other Clockwork Buccaneer, 25 feet. Actually, he has to make a save. Yeah. Oh, yeah, he's fine. 1 stride, 2 stride. And instead of getting into melee range, he's going to bring his blaster up and use a arm gun against Anjelique. But that's a natural 1. I cannot roll good today at all.
You're supposed to roll natural 20s when you're on our team, Steve.
Yeah, geez, Steve, come on. If I give you a hero point right now, will you re-roll for the clockwork?
You like that name, Hex Blaster, Tommy?
That's fucking tight as shit. Yeah. Hell
It's
yeah.
the one forged from her hag mother's staff.
Refi makes a reflex save. 28.
All right, you stumble 10 feet this way and are flat-footed until your next turn.
All right, and then I'll use Into the Fray. Move 25 feet this way. We're free. At the same time, Refi is running. He takes off his jacket, rips off his vest as well, and then he pulls his pistol for free action as well with Into the Fray. And for 1 action, he will shoot Loveless.
Bring it on.
And at the beginning of Refuel's turn, he feels much more protective as he also gets plot armor.
Much more protected as he strips before the big bad.
Yeah. By revealing his chest, he has plot armor.
39.
39 is a hit, but not a crit. What's it on the dice? A 16? Wow.
14 points of damage.
All right, 14 points of damage.
And this is probably a terrible use of action economy, but I want to do it because it's the final fight. You see Refi close his eyes and flashbacks of him getting taunted as a youth for being whatever they're calling the new ancestry for tieflings. But you see him just close his eyes and finally accept who he is, and out from his back bursts forth some wings, bat-like wings.
You know what, Richard? I agree. Averting your gaze in this fight with your last action is a horrible use of your action economy. What are you doing?
So yeah, I'm going to use Fiendish Wings for 2 actions.
Ooh. So this is the first time we've seen this, right? This campaign. Are your wings have sprouted, correct?
Yes, that's the end. So I ran,
You haven't
I shot.
flown yet.
No, I'm not flying. I'm on the ground. Wings have sprouted. And Yeah, they're kind of almost like gunpowder black and smoke gray with the membranes, and they're dripping blood still because they're so new.
Ooh. I like the image. Were you the last one in initiative? Well, we're back at the top of round 2. Hal, can you make a fortitude or reflex saving throw?
Fortitude save.
Oh yeah, you're fine. Critical success, you're good.
I will make a snagging strike against this creature. The dwarf, since I'm right here.
Oh boy.
Critical hit.
That's a critical hit.
26
Oh,
damage.
Let's go.
that was like so low.
No.
113. So that is a critical hit. They will take the damage. Then they are flat-footed because of the critical hit specialization. And they are now frightened 1 because of your fearsome rune.
I will make an exacting strike at map.
Okay.
Where is my map? -5.
Still a hit.
21 damage. And let me do shit. Whoever attacks 3 times.
Fighters.
Probably me. Make a another strike. Whoops. I said another strike.
It is feared. It's flat-footed. I mean, this seems like a good chance to possibly hit. Oh,
my
natural 20.
God. Ooh. Let's go.
It's only regular damage, right? That's
What's that?
doubled.
Oh yeah, you didn't do the so that he's definitely dead then.
That's my turn.
Ooh,
Hell yeah.
You know, anyone says don't
Great
attack
turn.
3 times wasn't playing a fighter.
Words of wisdom. Steve from Recall Knowledge.
Anita.
All right, so I'm gonna use 1 action to lock on to this shield marshal, and then give Wybert 2 so that he has 3. So he has a mama bonus of +3 to his attacks. So first one.
Just killed a dwarf.
Ricardo.
Put a sword against his head.
Made my robot explode. Now he's dead.
Let's go.
Mary Chrysler.
I'm
Fuck.
gonna use a hero point just because.
Actually, before we do this as well, I need you and Weber to make your saves.
Oh, okay. Wybert fortitude 27.
So Wybert stumbles 10 feet and is flat-footed.
And then Anita rolls 37.
Anita's fine.
Okay. So, okay. Can I use a hero point?
Yes, you can. Let's use that hero point on Wybert.
Mary Chrysler!
Chrysler, you better fucking pay up.
So 29 is a hit.
So that hits for 20 everything damage.
Yep, takes it all.
I'm sorry, my throat is crazy right now. Second action, he's also gonna attack with a map. The mama bonus +3. Yeah, okay. For 27.
Hits.
Okay. He deals 27 everything damage.
Looking pretty hurt.
All right, Wybert, this is it. You know, this is where you critically hit someone with your 3rd map attack.
He's just copying Halbrand.
Who
Yeah.
put this dog here?
He's a robot, right? Come on, you got this. I believe in you. God.
Oh, 17's a miss.
It was actually not a dog.
Still a good turn. Still a good turn.
For sure.
All right. So this guy has to make his save. So he does his reflex save. 29. So he succeeds. So he's not flat-footed. He doesn't move.
I like how none of us are within 15 feet of our paladin.
That's fine. You guys can just fucking die.
Cirque's like, stay close, and we're like, scatter!
We've established that all of you were terrible listeners over the course of a year and a half. You know who
He's
wasn't?
right.
That one guy from the Cradle of Quartz who I saved because he fucking listened.
Strides back here.
Coward.
Yeah, he's moving away from Wybert. He's going to use his Lawbreaker ability, and he's going to set it on Hal. And then with his third and final action, he's going to shoot Hal. And that's a 2 on the dice, and I don't know why he tried, because he's terrible at life.
Oof. That guy okay? Does he need a hug? Jesus.
I just rolled so bad all night. It's great for you guys. So the ship that's teetering like off the edge of the boat immediately begins to like rock back the other way now as the waves sort of shift, and it like kind of settles and splinters and kind of tumbles back a bit. So now everyone's making the saves again, but you're going to be falling to the right 10 for this round if you fail. So this clockwork creature is forced to make his save. He's going to use a reflex save. 29's good, so he's not actually at all. So he basically strides up, pulls out his scimitar, targets Anjelique, and actually hits.
Good.
For 15 damage. And he will do his map attack, which is a miss. Let me just check Anjelique real quick. No, she's good. Saruk, can you please make your save, either fortitude or reflex?
So here's Kijak. That was terrifying. And here is Saruk.
Succeeds. You hold strong. You're not flat-footed.
Okay, first things first, we're gonna devise the strat. This is going directly at Game Threat. Tight. Okay, so then hold up. A very bad number. What did I?
You rolled it with Kijak instead of yourself, so it's 13 on the dice plus like I think you got like a 14 bonus or 15 bonus or
21.
18 bonus.
So it'd be. So I'm just gonna.
Be like a 34.
I'm gonna use this calculator that's sitting right in front of me. Okay, so thinking. It's still difficult terrain on the stairs. We aren't flat-footed.
Difficult going up, but not down necessarily.
Right. So I think what I'm gonna do. Oh my god. I'm going to, for my first action, I'm going to stride like such. That may theoretically provoke a reaction, question mark.
It would. He does take one, but it might not be the one you think. He uses a feat called Not So Fast, and as you basically stride up, he's able to match your strides.
Ooh, spicy.
Okay, that complicates things. Now I have to do math on my turn, Steven. Damn it. So, okay, that can still work. This is going to be the weirdest question in the world. This is a straight line. We agree?
Yeah.
Okay, action the second, I'm going to stride again, and I'm going to go over here.
Can he move if Saruka is moving towards him versus away from him?
It's a good question, because he was he moving away from Gimthrak? That's a fair question. You kind of stayed in. You didn't really get farther from him in any individual step. Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think he can use his reaction on that. So you can go back and take your action back.
Wow, Hal, thanks for rules lawyering for me. Okay,
Pay attention, kids.
I'm good at that.
you are. Okay, so then that was one action. I'm going to, this is the weirdest turn. I think I need to set up. Yeah. Okay, so I think a 34 probably would hit, but probably wouldn't crit. Probably. So then the second and third action are going to go to Kijak, who is going to use Beast's Charge. This is a straight line. So not only does the ethereal jaguar come running up, like ghost through the chair and then like pounce into a flank, because this is a straight line, they get a +1 circumstance about it. So here come the claw. Or actually probably the... I don't remember my damage dice. They are the same thing. Okay, so just get around and try to like pounce on his neck. It's come on. 28.
28 is a hit.
Nice. And for 10 points of slashing damage. So So that was 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's my turn.
Ginthrek has to make his save. Let's see if he rolls better than a really terrible roll. Nope, he gets a 3 again, so he stumbles again. Is Kijak actually has no... Is Kijak incorporeal? Can like...
Oh, no. He's definitely like a physical thing. I was just flavor texting.
Yeah. So I don't think he can actually stumble through Kijak, but he will be flat-footed at least because he failed his save. So he gets pretty angry. His first action is going to basically be to like demoralize you. So he looks at you and he's like, "You never beat me as a kid. You ain't gonna beat me now." So he will demoralize and try to make an intimidation check against you, against your will DC. He gets a 36, which is a critical success.
I feel like I have a reaction. No, just kidding. Never mind. Hockey dokie, I am frightened too.
Frightened 2. So there's like a flashback, and you just remember the last time he in the the friendly sparring, but he always took it a little too far.
For some reason he just kept yelling, "Snap into a Slim Jim."
This time, instead of using his hammer, he comes in with his own tusks and makes an orc tusk strike on you and rolls a 4 on his dice and misses.
Are they going to cross tusks?
You're supposed to be scary.
No, he is. Don't worry. We're both going to be attacking each other with our mouths.
His map attack is a 5 on the dice, and he misses again. So Ginthrek hasn't made a single roll above 5 this game. Loveless.
Attacking with your mouths is definitely not kissing.
No, it's not. Don't get jealous. We have it in the epilogue.
Loveless needs to make her her save. 30 is enough. She does not fail. She kind of looks your way, Hal, and she... Oh, sorry, they have the same thing. So it's called a Lawbringer's Pursuit, but hers is different. I don't know if that's correct. So she reloads her gun, and then she makes a demoralize onto you, Hal, as she starts basically taunting you at your... Actually, I think I rolled using your stats instead of hers.
It looks like a critical failure to me.
Well, she rolled a 3, so yes, it is a failure, but only by 1 because she rolled a 3. God dang it. Okay. And then she gives, like, it doesn't work. You steel yourself against her quips. She will sort of move back down the stairs to here. She gives you a wink as she does so, and she brings her blaster that she reloaded towards you, but she actually targets the Buccaneer when she uses a Hex Blaster. And that's a critical hit. So you watch. So here's the thing. She hits a critical hit. Earlier, last turn, when she did the thing you couldn't see, after she hit the creature with the butt of her gun and dealt no damage, she sneakily, with her other hand, slid a small Pyronite charge right in the undercarriage of this thing. And as she winks at you, Hal, and comes back, she points the gun. She sends the bullet through the Pyronite charge, critically hitting the creature and detonating the charge. So first, I'm going to deal the critical damage to the creature. 70 points of damage. Takes 60. Is it mindless? It can't be affected by the fear effect. It does need to make a fortitude save or be stunned. Does not, so it is stunned 1. And then the Pyronite charge explodes in a 10-foot radius around the creature, hitting it and Hal. So I need you guys to make reflex saving throws. Ooh, crit for Hal. Both succeeded, actually.
Yeah.
No, actually, the creature failed. Sorry, it got a 33, which is a failure. So it's going to take 18 more fire damage. Hal, you see it coming, and you are able to like definitely just back out of the way just enough that the blast just skims you and like maybe singes just the bit of your whiskers, but no blast damage at all. Like you're maybe a little smell of burnt fur, but yeah, you did not take the most of the damage.
You're too predictable, Anjelique. Let me hear you say, "I love you" like you used to.
Wow. Lore drop. Reflex save for this creature It fails, so it falls 10 feet towards Loveless. And then it does its thing. It just pulls out. It targets Anjelique with its scimitar. 13 is a hit. Anjelique takes 18 points of damage. Well, it's going to hit again.
Nice.
I love it when a plan comes together.
18 points of damage. Last strike is a critical miss. And that's the creature's turn. That brings us to Refi.
Right. Reflex save. All right. 28.
28 is a failure, so you do stumble 10 feet back, just 10, and you stay flat-footed. Tell you'd like to fly, and then you don't have to worry about it anymore.
And I have to keep flying, or else I fall. Do I want to get crazy?
Yes. You know the
Yes.
answer. Why are you
Answer
asking?
is yes. You wanted to hear us say it.
Oh, yeah, sure. There's your validation. Get crazy.
Running reload. And then I would like to grapple Anjelique.
I see someone's been playing Baldur's Gate.
Okay. So this is a straight up grapple.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever grappled anyone in this game.
All right, you make an athletics check against her fortitude DC.
All right.
That's what we call a natural 20. So 36 is a
Let's go.
success, which is then bumped up into a critical success. Anjelique is completely restrained by you and actually can't move unless you move or she uses an escape action.
Oh, so I can't drag her?
Not so easily. There's not a lot of like moving creatures around the battlefield
That
stuff.
changes what I would have done then. Damn.
Quick, retrain into a wrestler.
I would say, just at a ballpark, right? Let's look at what you're carrying in your weight. You are carrying 4. Your max encumbered bulk is 9, so you got quite a bit of weight like in there. She in total, it doesn't really tell me how much weight she's carrying. She's not wearing a ton. She is wearing a pretty hefty breastplate. Plus, she is a medium-sized creature, so you're not really strong enough to easily move her around, anyways.
All right, that would change what I would have done then. Because I was just planning to fly off with her.
Now, see, this is what happens when you get crazy. You should have known better. Come on.
Can I use that natural 20 for something else then?
You can't retroactively give you the natural 20 for a different action.
I know.
So
What a waste.
let's say this. If you're grabbing her and you'd like to fly, you're going to be flying using the flight rules. You're flying presumably straight up. It would require, so there are rules for flying under like heavy conditions. I can just see where this is going, and I can't let you pick up and carry people around flying. If you are tough and big and strong, maybe, but you are not strong enough to do what you're trying to do.
Fair enough. I mean, I do have an 18 strength. But
That is true. You do have an 18 strength. You're not scrawny. I'm just looking at your like carried encumbrance bulk versus her. Like her doing it. Like there are bulk rules for like creatures, right? Like medium creatures alone are 6 bulk.
that's fine. Then I will change my action and negate that natural 20 if possible.
I will let you use, basically, I will let you try to do it. I will treat you as encumbered. So you are, you're carrying all of her weight, so you're encumbered, which reduces your movement speed.
It's too complicated. We don't have to do it.
You got a natural 20. So we'll mark you as encumbered. And does that reduce your movement speed, I'm guessing? You have a 10-foot penalty to your speeds, your clumsy 1. But then if you'd like to fly, you could definitely try to fly. I look up the rules. There's
Are we actually over the falls? So I was gonna fly over.
yeah, you definitely are over the falls. That's what I figure you're trying to do. I wish I knew the ability off the top of my head, but there's basically There's a flight type skill that allows you to basically make, it's like a tough roll, right? I will allow you to do an athletics check against her fortitude DC, and if you succeed, you can move up to half your reduced speed and carry her out over the falls.
Fair enough. Let's try it.
Just gonna roll another natural 20. I don't know why I.
One shot, one opportunity. Make your abuser feel the pain that they made you feel. Did you capture it? Well, it looks like you would.
34.
34 is exactly what you needed.
Woo!
So half my speed?
So your speed right now is 15 feet, so you could carry her basically with one move. It's like one square because it's halved, right? So you can take her 7.5 feet. So basically, you move out, and I'll drag her along with you. Where are you going?
Trying to move as close to the falls as possible.
Yeah, right here, like the boat is like literally right now. So each action you take, I will allow you 5 feet of movement. So from here, that was one movement. That was your second action. So if you wanted to try to move her more, you can make another fortitude or another athletics check.
All right.
32 is not quite enough, but since you had a little bit of movement left over, I'll let you get that one extra square since we're kind of rounding here.
All right. Then that's all my turn. That's all 3 actions.
You're flying her out over the falls, and her eyes have gone wide because she realizes like the gravity of like what's about to happen.
That was the best pun.
As I'm walking up to her, as I run up to her, I said, "You know what, Anjelique? I feel like I've become a new man. Let bygones be bygones. Let's just hug it out." And I lunge towards her and grab her and lift off over the boat.
Very Harry Potter. Lord Voldemort.
Yeah, and you all watch as Ruffy just lifts Anjelique up and starts sailing out over the edge of the falls, like struggling to not to be able to move. All right, that's the top of the next round. Hal, make your save.
Fortitude save.
You're good.
6. And I look over towards Refugule as he's carrying her out over the edge. And I'll just stride. Don't fall for him too, Loveless. I want to do Scout's Charge against this creature. Scout's Charge is 2 actions. I can stride, feint using stealth, and then make a strike against that creature. So I will feint using stealth.
You're just weaving, dipping, diving all over this battlefield.
37.
Yeah, that's definitely a success. Yeah, success.
And then I'll make a strike against this creature.
And he becomes flat-footed, right?
Yeah. 37 damage, or excuse me, 37 to hit for.
No, that's a crit actually.
Whoa!
For 46 damage.
46 damage and frightened because of the fearsome rune, right?
Mm-hmm.
And his critical specialization effect also makes him flat-footed until next turn.
And then I think I would just make a.
Nobody ever makes a map attack.
Definitely making a map attack. I think. Yeah, just make another strike. He's going to be flat-footed for a while. Whoops, wrong one. Map. Go. That is a 32.
Jesus!
32 is a crit. Thanks to the frightened condition from your fearsome rune. Yeah, he's dead. That fearsome rune was the difference between the crit and the not crit, which is the difference between him dying and that.
All right, it's my turn.
Ricardo really did say, "I'm tired of us not playing in 48 days. Let's finish this." Crit, 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 crit.
Crit. Meanwhile, I can't roll above a 5.
Good.
The dice tell the story that they want to tell. Anita.
All right, so first action, Anita is gonna go on overdrive. Here's my crafting check. Boom, 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 24. I'm gonna use a... No, never mind, I'm not. I won't. And then I'll use...
So Tommy just gave me the GM a hero point.
I just feel bad.
And then...
That's awesome.
Oh, let's see. I'm gonna give Wybert 1 action so that he has 2. Oh, sorry, my fortitude save. Our fortitude save.
Oh, good call, yeah.
Okay, first one for Wybert, that would be 38.
Viber's good.
And then for Anita, that would be 21.
All right, so you stumble back and then become flat-footed.
All right, so I used one action for overdrive. Can I use another action to go on overdrive to try and do overdrive again, or do I have to?
Is there any trait on it that says it's like once per turn or anything? I don't think so.
No. Critical success. Oh, sorry.
It just says frequency once per round.
Yeah.
Never
mind. All right, so I'm gonna use one more action to tell Wybert to lock on to Gimthrak. So, and then my last action to give him the command action, so he would have 2. So his first action would be to, oh no. If he's right here next to Saruk, he can still get to, he can still hit Gimthrak, yeah?
Yeah, if he gets there, he can hit. Yeah.
Right here?
Can he hit? You're asking if Wybert can hit Gimthrak from there?
Yeah, from here, yeah.
Yeah, he can.
Okay, cool. All right. Lock on, so he got that mommy bonus. Hey, Wybert smash.
We've come a long way from Daddy Saruk, I see.
Come on. 28.
Oh, it says you're targeting the other guy, actually, not Gimthrak. But a 28 still hits.
Oh, sweet. So that would be 24 points of everything damage.
All right, Gimthrak takes it.
All right, and that is it for our turn.
This clockwork creature here, he has to make his reflex save. Fails. He actually stumbles like kind of over the balcony and lands down here and falls prone on the ground. And then for his turn, he only has 2 actions because he's stunned. So his first action is to stand up from prone and then like kind of shake his head a little bit. I think his third action would be to probably just focus on the same person he's been focused on. He's going to take a arm gun strike at Anjelique, restrained by, oh my god, that's a critical hit.
Oh my gosh.
Nice.
Yes.
I love my clockwork babies.
See, you're rolling fine,
my
Steve.
goodness.
54 points of damage on Anjelique, and then she has to make a fortitude save or be stunned. She just barely makes it, by the way. Okay, Saruk.
Okie dokie. So we ticked over round 30. Is anything pointing at anything different?
Yeah, so the ship just kind of like shifts back, and we're falling towards the front of the ship again.
Okay, so then does Kijak have to roll in the first place? Question mark. Well, I guess he could be flat-footed.
He can do the flat-footed, but he won't shift his.
Got it. So Kijak's is really bad, and Saruk's is probably worse.
Both flat-footed.
Okie dokie.
But you would actually stumble. So Saruk would stumble 10 feet back towards the front of the ship.
Right. Okay, so. And GM brain really did fire on and be like, well, now I can't select him because there's another token there. Okay, device of stratagems going at Gimthrak again. We like a 36. Okay, so this is gonna 3 actions amongst 2 dudes is weird. That's what she said. I suppose action the first. Now that we're pushed back just a hair, I think Saruk is going to lower his gun. I'm just looking at, so all told, it would be I'm frightened 2. The device doesn't see, or the macro, doesn't see the rune in the barricade buster, so it should be just a flat 36 to hit.
36 is a crit.
Daka.
Let it rock. Let it rock.
Ooh,
78. The damage is non-lethal.
Okay. It's a lot of damage. He takes it.
Go.
I think it's just like the barricade buster starts spinning and firing. I've been playing a lot of Deep Rock Galactic lately, so that's all I hear in my head. And I guess second action is going to be stride back into the flank, and then as like bullets are I guess just tearing up the stairs, and certainly not anybody who's on decks below who the bullets might just friendly fire. It's turned off in this campaign. Don't worry about it. It's fine. I guess my third
Range?
action is she's fine. You don't have object permanence. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna bite. Reading all the things should be correct.
Yes.
Come on. No, it's with a cat. Don't make it weird.
27's a hit.
So Kijak's damage has to be lethal. 14 more points of slashing damage. That was 1, 2, 3, and my turn.
Don't mind them. They're just fighting with their mouths.
Yeah, God damn it. Weirdo. Oh, wait. Actually, you know what? Richard talking and saying a bunch of dumb bullshit reminded me that other brain cell of mine that remembers that I have shared stratagem. I designate Halbert. Your next attack against this man's. They are flat-footed to it. Talking shit and helping me remember.
All right. Well, he's going to make his fortitude save against this falling thing. Can he roll above a 5? He can. For the first time, Gimthrak is not flat-footed from the stumbling ship. Go figure. Also, one of your frightened conditions comes off, so you're only frightened one, Saruk. So full of rage and anger, cannot believe he's losing this fight. He's not supposed to. This isn't how it goes. Gimthrak, he's trained, he's bigger, he's stronger than you. How is this possible? Well, charging into that Matangi orc ferocity, you are his sworn enemy, and he will orc tusk strike. And he rolls a 5, which is again a miss. Well, he's gonna use his orc tusk at a map. Hey, he rolled a hit.
Woohoo!
We'll get
Gimthrak!
Just had to get some foreplay out of the way.
I'm kidding.
36 points of damage.
Oh, wait, shit.
Ow, Jesus.
Fuck.
So he has a feature called like sneak attack. So whenever he strikes a creature that has a flat-footed condition, it deals precision damage. And as you are currently off balance by that, it does basically work out to be sneak attack damage. So that hurts quite a bit.
Look at you adopting new terminology. Flat-footed, never heard of it.
Yeah, what is the new one? It's like off balance.
Off balance, yeah.
I haven't switched over to remastered yet. That's coming. And then with his third and final action, he uses Ain't Going Nowhere. He automatically grabs the target until the next turn with his free hand. So you are currently grabbed. Wait, not restrained. Why does it mark you as restrained?
Because you clicked the restrained button.
I dragged the grabbed thing. It just automatically took the immobilized condition.
Mechamaya would like to correct you all to off guard.
Grabbed is actually flat-footed and immobilized. So I guess so.
Yeah,
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, you got it. I mobilized and restrained went in my head weird.
So you are now basically, he's holding you in place at least. So over on one side, Refi's got Angelique and flying her over the thing, and on the other side, he's grabbed you. And as he's like looking, you can just see he's losing it here, Saruk. This isn't the same man you once knew.
Almost like that's why I came to the plot in the first place, but all right.
Yeah. All right, Angelique. So she's restrained. She's held. She's like looking down over the falls. She looks up at you and she looks down. She's like, do you think this will stop me? It does not matter if I die. The city must go on. Oh, it turned a little bad there then.
Of course it was bad. It was your French accent.
Exactly. She brings up her Hex Blaster. I guess she has actually. So I guess she has to reload it because she hasn't reloaded it yet. So this is her thing. She will demoralize you with a 25. That's not enough to demoralize you because you got a 26 DC, so it doesn't work. Yeah, but that helps her to reload her gun. But since she's restrained, it's a DC 5 flat check to see if her manipulate action fails.
Sucks to suck.
It fails, so she's not able to reload her weapon. Actually, I read it a little wrong, but either way, she's just gonna use action straight up to reload because she has to. Second action, reload successfully. Third action is she tries to blast you with the Hex Blaster. 33 is not a crit, it's just a hit.
Whew.
28 points of damage to Refi. which barely kind of scratches you here. But she has this determination in her eyes. You could tell. Any normal, sane person would fear for their lives in this situation. But Anjelique here, over the falls, the ship in place, her plan fully in motion. She's willing to die here without a second thought. And that takes us to the clockwork creatures that just keep pounding on her with their gun. Let's do the reflex save.
No.
Ooh. Actually, there is something on a critical fail. They fall prone. So he stumbles back this way and falls prone. Spends his first action standing up. Second action targeting Anjelique. Making a gun strike. That's a failure and a miss. Second strike is a hit. Anjelique takes 16 points of damage. She's near death, but she's hanging on. All right, Ruffy. Moment of truth.
I believe I'm no longer flat-footed, correct?
Yeah, I don't think you're flat-footed just because... Yeah, you're clumsy, but you're not flat-footed. Yes, you are correct. And we're not making saves because we're not touching the ship.
All right, I'll use one action to go higher.
All right, make that athletics check against her fortitude. 27. She struggles against you enough that you're not able to make any higher. So you're basically, you'd have to go a little farther. Like this is like right where the falls is. But if she fell here, she's like 10 feet from being swept over the falls anyways, right?
So I'll look at Anjelique and I'll say, you know, we're not that different, you and I. It's not love that binds me to this city. It's anger and hate. Difference is I've met people who've helped me get past that. I don't believe in the city, but I believe in them. So I'll give you the same chance you gave me, and I'll let her go.
Okay. So you release Anjelique, who immediately begins to free fall. She is going to use her reaction.
She has her own set of wings.
I'm going to let her use her reaction to grab an edge. That's exactly what I'm doing, yeah.
Where Edge is the edgy gunslinger that just dropped her.
So she makes a reflex save. And I'm going to say her reflex save, it's her trying to grab you versus you, like, basically getting out of the way. So I'll make it against your acrobatics DC, which is 28.
28 due to being clumsy, yep.
Is that what it is? Yeah, I just read it off your sheet.
Yeah, it's usually it would have been 29.
Oh, 2 is a 28. So with the grab and edge, you drop, she reaches up at the last second and she grabs your ankle, Reffy, and she now is like holding you by the ankle, hanging there and just barely, like she's like weighing you down, right? Because you've been holding her. So now you guys are both kind of stumbling. She's not letting go. And she's used like every last bit she has to like hold on a little longer. And she just looks at you and she says, "I go. You are coming with me."
All right, second action then, because I'm assuming releasing her is a free action.
Yeah, I guess technically, yeah.
All right, so second action, I'll shoot her in the face.
She's definitely flat-footed here. Your gun should be reloaded. I can't think of any reason why it wouldn't be.
I did a running reload to get up to her in the first place.
Yep, that's right.
All right.
That's a hit.
I want to fish for the crit.
Yes.
But that could potentially not hit.
Is near death.
You can also just
I'll
kick her
take the
next
hit.
turn with the map.
Yeah. 18 points of damage.
All right, she takes it. She's still alive.
Third action.
You could also theoretically, right, since she's just hanging on by your foot, you could just try to basically escape from her grapple on you. Like an escape check would cause her to fall. I know you've attacked, and an escape action is an attack, so it'd be at a map, but just as an option. No, I'm not calling it off guard. I'll call it in the next campaign. I'll use all the correct terms, but we're still playing non-remastered TF2.
She
Not
is.
updated.
She's flat-footed anyway, so that doesn't make a difference. How dramatic do I want to be about this?
Richard, whatever your last name is. You know the answer to that question. God damn it.
Every time you say, should I get crazy, you roll a natural 20, so.
I wouldn't be rolling anything. I was just wondering if I can pretty much, make the wings go away and fall.
You're coming with me. All right, bet.
But no, I'll just try to kick her. I'll just try to kick her off.
Do you actually have that ability? That's the question. That's pretty cool thought.
For what?
Can you actually just dismiss the wings? It says once manifested, the rings remain for 10 minutes. You have no control over dismissing it.
Yep.
You can just stop flying. Actually, in this case, because if you haven't used a successful move action, although you tried to move, you didn't move anywhere, but you did spend a move action to try to fly up, so that you still are airborne for this turn.
Oh, that's not fun. Yeah, I'm gonna do a follow-up strike.
Hey, if you want to fall, I'll let you.
Oh, no, this is supposed to be a map. Sorry. It's a miss anyway.
Yeah, even at map, it'd be a lot more of a miss.
Yeah, it's a miss. That's all 3 actions.
Top of the next round. For this round, I'm going to say the ship has stabilized for a minute. There's actually no shifting of the boat.
Would I still be able to grab onto Gimthrak if I moved into this corner, since both Wybert and Saruk are over here?
Yeah, you can. He's got Saruk grabbed and grappled right now, so you can run up and do like a chain grab thing.
And then I'm going to use knockdown and then improve knockdown. So I will, it says knockdown, 2 actions, melee strike. If it hits, deal damage, and I can attempt an athletics check to trip. But since I've improved knockdown, it automatically happens as a critical success. So make a strike against him. That is a 26.
Against his
I
flat
assume that hits.
Yep, that's exactly what you need to hit.
That is a 22 points of damage. And he is automatically tripped, taking another d6. 6. Another 2 damage. Improved knockdown.
All right, he's prone, 2 damage, although he still has Saruk around the ankles.
And that is reactions.
Anita.
Okay.
I think when he goes down and it's obvious that he's about to drop, Saruk is just gonna wherever Anita is, look up, call Wybert off. It's over.
All right. Anita, is there one more bomb? Or did we disable all the bombs? Sorry.
No, there's still a missing bomb somewhere.
Okay. Refi's over here flying with his wings. Wybert's gonna stop attacking Gimthrak. And these stairs go down.
These stairs go down into the lower part of the ship, yeah.
Okay. So
Based on you guys have cleared the entirety of the ship. The only place you guys haven't searched is this cabin up behind them, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So in that case, Anita is going to... How far is this? 25, 25, 75. So 65 would be right here. Yeah, Anita's just going to use all 3 of her actions to move.
Okay.
And then that gives... Wybert still has, I think, 1 or 2 actions. 1
You
action.
should get 1,
so,
yeah.
Yeah, so he's going to use that movement to back away from Gimthrak and head to this door right here.
Okay.
That's it for our turn.
That shield marshal's dead. This clockwork basically is going to try to finish off Anjelique.
These clockworks are going to kill Anjelique.
Unless, with Saruk, did you command them to stand down, or are you letting them unload on Anjelique?
I think Saruk is probably just straight up tunnel visioning right now.
You got Gimthrak in your sight, yep.
Yeah.
All right. So that is a hit for 20 points of damage. Anjelique is just barely hanging on. You know what? For dramatic tension, I'm not going to let the random NPCs finish her off. It has to be. I'm going to let Refugio have his time to shine. Saruk.
Hockey dokie. What rhymes with the last time in this campaign I'm rolling devise a stratagem? Why, yes, kids, that's right. Untap, upkeep, devise a stratagem. Okay, that is perfectly fine.
Thinking. Perfect.
Voila! And then headbutts. So I think it's over. And then he falls over and looks up. Sirk's just gonna look down on him. You're coming home. I have a lot of debuffs on me, but if a 26 hit, 31 minus X is probably fine. Damage is still non-lethal, and I'm going to do this by punching him with my teeth.
Yes. He looks pretty pathetic there, like holding on to your ankles as he falls down, 18 points of damage is not enough to knock him out. He's still hanging on there, snarling.
All right, let's try the...
If only we had fan art.
I get to work on it. Okay, so I think I'm going to... This is really awkward. Thinking, brain, go. I'm going to use shared stratagem now. The ally I'm going to designate is Kijak. So he's flat-footed. Well, he's flat-footed 7 ways to Sunday. What am I saying? We share a map. Just kidding. That wouldn't make it any better. I guess. What's the least shitty map attack I have? If I ready an action to strike and I set the trigger as at the top of his turn, does it use my map currently? Fuck it. I'm thinking too hard. I'm going to hit him with my face again.
Yeah, just bite him.
Yeah. I'm just grabbing all the things. That's on. That is on. Okay.
Ooh, a 20 is going to be a miss.
Let's go ahead and pure point it. Why not? Come on! Do gooder!
No, hero point still a miss.
My friend Steve at Recall Knowledge, he taught me, use the third attack.
Oh, natural one.
See, that's why you don't listen to Steve.
Only fighters and robots, apparently.
Only fighters and robots. Yeah, it's my turn.
All right, well, Gimthrak, he looks at you and is coughing up blood.
I was going to designate Kijak for a shared stratagem, but it wouldn't have done anything, so I'm going to designate Hal instead.
Okay. So he's kind of spitting up blood. You know, Saruk, the best way to hurt you has always been to go after those you care about. And he kind of side glances at Anita, who's run up the stairs right next to him. He will stand up from where he is, which triggers an opportunity attack from Hal, which can use the stratagem bonus, right? Or he's flat-footed against that?
Yeah.
I guess he's prone anyways.
Would Hal know that Kijak's trying not... sorry.
Would Hal know if Saruk's trying not to kill anyone? It's only been a year and a half, 3 books. Yeah, for sure. This is very get him home kind of thing. Instead of tusking,
so I think instead of
headbutt.
Swinging with his Kopesh, she probably strikes him with his unarmed hand.
Okay, you can make your Kopesh non-lethal if you wish. It just takes a -2 penalty to the strike. Or you can try to knock him out. Either way, it's your call.
It's the same attack. I will make it non-lethal and try to hit him in the face with my opportunity attack.
Yeah, you can make any attack non-lethal. It's just that Saruk gets it for free because that's the feat that Saruk took.
Modifier is -2.
I took feats that make my non-lethal attacks lethal.
That's because you're the problem.
And
32 is a hit, but not a crit.
20 points of damage.
20 points of damage, which is not enough to knock out Gimthrak. And he stands up, turns his attention right at Anita, who's there on the staircase, and is going to use... He's going to use Shove. I push Anita over the edge. All right. So Anita, he's going to make an athletics check against your Fortitude DC. Can Gimthrak actually roll higher than a 5?
No. Yes. Fuck.
34 is a success. So Anita, you get pushed right over the side, smashing through toppling over the edge of the wood. Now, you do have a reaction, just like Loveless. You do have a chance to grab an edge here.
I'm getting the sense she's screaming, I use my snap leaf!
I have a snap leaf as a reaction as I begin to fall.
You can activate it. Just know that if you activate the snap leaf, you'll still fall just slower, right? And you're still going to fall into the Alkenstar Falls and be swept over the waterfall. But at least your fall will be nice and gentle to the bottom.
That's what the grappling gun is for. We've been over this.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, we did have a warm up about this. Okay. Whee.
Yeah. So if you want to activate the snap leaf, you absolutely can.
Yes, sir. Yes, please.
Okay. So you begin to fall. You activate the snap leaf. I forgot you had it, but it's amazing that you bought this when you went on the airship just as an insurance policy, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Now you're on a ship that's in the air, and hey, insurance policy.
That's supposed to be a boat, but it's in the air.
So you get the benefits of feather fall, which allows you'll fall slower, and you're basically invisible.
Oh, nice. Until I stop falling, whichever comes. Okay.
Very cool. So you guys watch as Anita goes over the edge and immediately just goes invisible. And even Gimthrak is kind of like, the hell?
Frodo.
Steady on.
And then I guess with this third and final action, he tries to headbutt Saruk with the map.
Oh my
34.
God,
He
no.
finally rolled good. If it wasn't a map, it would have been a crit.
It's true.
36 points of definitely lethal damage on Saruk.
Boo.
All right, Anjelique.
So I should be, as his turn ends, because he didn't try to hold on to me, I should be both not grappled.
That's a good point. He didn't have, let's see. I think that's true. Let me see what his feature says. Features grabbed, cannot be, so extends the duration of grab. Yeah, so since he didn't reuse an action to continue the grab, you are no longer grabbed by him. He didn't have the actions to do it.
I was gonna say, but I think when my turn ended, I should also, my frightened should have fallen off.
That is also true. And your flat-footedness too, because there's no more rocking boat or anything. Okay, Anjelique, in what is essentially her last turn on this planet, she can't.
Her gun is. Oh, she did shoot me already. Never mind. Okay, have her let go and reload. It's fine.
Imagine the drama. She's falling, shoots, kills Reffy.
I think she probably, with her gun is not loaded, so I think she will try to do she's gonna melee strike you with it. She's gonna use the reinforced stock, and she rolls a 2. Yep, she's gonna do a map 17. So she hits you underneath the chin, catches you with that. You take 9 points of bludgeoning damage. Then, similar to before, she's trying to plant a Pyronite charge onto you, Reffy. She has to make a thievery check against your perception DC. There's no point in hiding it since, we saw it go off before. So she rolls a 33. And your perception DC is a 28. So she plants you do have a secret Pyronite charge planted, just on the backside of your foot without you noticing. And then with her third and final action, she actually lets the blaster go, and it slips from her hand and just falls down. No, the Pyronite charge is not in action.
Okay.
So 2 melee strikes. The planet charge is part of the melee strike. And she drops her hex blaster with the free action, and it tumbles down. And she reaches into her coat pocket and she pulls out a smaller silver, holy infused firearm that she smelted her father's holy sword into. But that's just drawing it takes her action. That's her turn. Reffy.
Yeah, let's make this fun. 1 action to go into wolf stance.
Okay.
Yeah, let's make it interesting. I'll look at her and say, you're not the only one afraid of dying. Except I've got friends that I believe in that can finish the job. And I'll spend my next 2 actions to do wolf drag.
Wolf drag down the falls.
So first, let me put wolf stance in.
Because you're not taking a move action. You're just gonna fall into the river, right? What is wolf drag? I'm not actually familiar with it.
Let me put wolf stance in first. Wolf drag. You rip your enemy off their feet, make a wolf jaw strike. Your wolf jaw gains the fatal D12 trait for this strike, and if the attack succeeds, you knock the target prone.
Oh, and she won't be able to hold on there. Yep. All right. She's sitting on just a small number of hit points. Chat, if you have a freaking hero point, now's the time.
To give it to Steve.
I still have my hero point.
He still has a hero point. Don't worry, he's fine. 31 is a hit.
Yeah, I'm going to use my hero point to fish for a crit. Why not? Let's make this more interesting.
My hero. Don't roll into a 1.
Oh no.
I'm going to let the original roll stand in this heroic moment. I like that you fish for the crit, but it feels wrong to penalize you in that moment. I'll still take the hero point, but we'll go with the original hit.
Feels wrong to penalize you for your greed.
I would have loved for it to hit. Absolutely. But it doesn't feel very heroic.
Oh, it's only fatal because it's not a crit, right?
It just means if you crit, it does extra damage.
Yeah. So that's 18 points of damage.
She takes 9 and then she basically dies as you knock her prone. But here's the kicker, because Anjelique has a last reaction, a last parting gift to you, Ruficule. As you kill her, you're basically hitting her, you're knocking her prone. The last gasp of air comes out of her ear, or out of her breath, and she just says, actually, she doesn't say anything. She takes a parting shot. So when Anjelique would die or gain the dying condition, she reloads her current wielded firearm if necessary and makes a ranged strike against an enemy. A successful attack will be treated as a critical hit.
Oh.
Go.
Now, Refi, I need to ask because it's kind of important in this moment. Is Refi a good aligned creature?
Right now, he is not good aligned. He is neutral.
Yeah. Okay. If she tried to use her father's weapon against a good aligned creature, there is a flat check because it might not go off. But in this case, it's definitely going off.
He would have been evil before the end of last book.
Oh.
Well, guess what? She rolled a critical on her own.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Any hit is treated as a critical. This has the fatal D10 trait on it. Let's see how much damage Refi takes. It's not so bad. 46 points of damage. You need to make a fortitude save. You are frightened 1. Actually, this one doesn't have the fearsome room. It says that that's wrong.
30.
30. So you succeed. No, you fail. So you are stunned 1. As Angelique's, she takes her last shot. It kind of goes right at the side of your head as her eyes go cold forever, and just, you've knocked her prone, and in slow-mo, she falls towards the fall as the pistol leaves her hand. Yes.
I believe she planted a charge on me.
She did. Yeah, it's more dramatic if I hit the charge. I was going to leave it as a ticking sort of time bomb, but let me just read what the charge says.
I feel like there's something in my shoe explodes.
After making a successful range strike against a teacher, she can choose the bullet choose the charge. Yeah. So she'll detonate the challenge. So can you make a reflex save against the pyronite explosion? So you guys all hear a loud explosion of pyronite off the side of the ship.
Just to make it interesting, let me give myself a hero point.
You
Can I use a hero point on this? I already used one this turn, no? So I can't.
No, that doesn't matter. You can use another hero point. If you got points, cash them in.
You know what? No. I'll save it for someone else. I'm just going to roll straight.
All those times you said you wouldn't use a hero point to fix the drama, and here you go.
It's not
29.
a critical failure. You did get a hero point from chat, by the way. 25 points of fire damage.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'll take it.
All right, you're near death, but you're still alive. But at the end of the turn, or at the end of your turn, you've used all your actions, or no?
Yes. Wolf Stance is 1 action. Wolf Drag is 2 actions.
So without taking any sort of fly action, you immediately fall out of the air and start plummeting down into the water and splash into the roaring river of the Ostrati. Still conscious. Oh, you're no longer encumbered because you're not holding Anjelique anymore.
Mm-hmm. And if I would hit any rocks or anything, I have Catfall, so I'm fine.
Yeah, you're good. I'm not going to impose any damage. You weren't that high up. But we're back on the other side. Hal. Gimthrak just pushed Anita over the edge of the ship. Saruk's begging you not to kill him.
Oh my god, you had to say that.
Begging is a strong word.
Okay, that's true. It was just like, take him alive. What did you say?
I don't think he said anything. Just the impetus of like people who have known each other for a long time, and like this is why Saruk has come to Alkenstar to take this guy home to face justice for everything he did.
Got it. Yeah, you said something to Anita specifically when Wybert was going to kill him. That's what I remember.
I asked Anita to kindly call off her dog killer.
That's right. That's what it was. And here's the dog killer, not the dog killer, but the dog comma killer.
I think you see Hal drop his Kopesh, and he suddenly bursts into an albino white wolf as I shapeshift into his heritage. And I think then Hal takes 2 swings at this creature as he sees Anita fall over the edge and disappear. Not disappear because she went invisible, but disappear because, like,
falling off a ship in the air.
Right. So I gotta find what it's shapeshift. Let me see. From my heritage, what is it called? Shapeshift, which gives me, I think, precision and D4s on my melee strikes as claws. I'm just gonna make an unarmed attack.
Sure.
And then we'll see what happens.
I think we never really used it before, right? Like the feat. This is not non-lethal, I assume, right? This is just straight up lethal. Yeah. Roll critical damage.
I think Saruk probably turns shouts, "No!" And then I'll use my reaction on. This is not how I thought this would go on Gimthrak. So the incoming is reduced by 13. He can step if he wants to.
So it's reduced by 13, you said? So, okay, so then he takes... Yeah, got it. So, minus 13. He takes 7 points of damage. He's still up.
Jesus.
I think he still has to make the fortitude save, though.
Yeah, is that... I guess that's probably true, right?
Yeah, I don't
You probably have that in any form. A 31, he succeeds.
Gimthrak can also step if he wants to.
But yeah, he'll step away from Hal.
I think Saruk probably doesn't say anything further after shouting, and then like Spectral Jaguar interposes itself, but it's just like glaring daggers at Hal.
I think Hal will use his last action to revert back to himself. Like after, like his bestial fury ticks over, he's got a tattoo of Anita standing in front of a large white wolf in front of the moon. And it's like, he strikes at this creature and then he hears an echo of this voice saying no, right? And it kind of echoes out over time. And then you see him blink and then look towards Saruk, and then he'll revert back to his normal form.
I feel like Saruk is probably intelligent enough. I'll just tap the snap leaf I'm wearing and then wink.
I think seeing your like sort of spectral like form, your Keyjack manifests itself to protect Gimthrak and like shield him back from your own ally. Gimthrak is so surprised that you would do such a thing, given everything that's transpired. He sees the explosion over the side. He sees Loveless die. He realizes the futility of the situation. He's not dumb. He immediately drops his weapon and gives himself up. And you guys can either take him into custody or, I guess it would be, Saruk, your choice.
Are we like out of initiative, my choice?
I think so. There's no more real threats, right? And we've been fighting for a long time, and I think we need to take a break. But assuming just moment plays out, right? He drops the hammer. I'll never understand you, Tiny.
You don't have to, but you are going to pay for what you did. And as I'm stepping forward, I'll drop my... I don't remember the name of the gun. It's just a minigun in my head. Drop the barricade buster, draw my shield, and then just like slam it across the side of his face to knock him out. For now, we have a bomb to deal with.
I think the last thing we see before break, I think on the other side it's probably a shot from Hell side, which is basically a bunch of people looking up. The ship appeared. They're all like, what's this? What's happening? Explosions of Pyronite rocking out, scaring people. There's a scene where they watch like this devil creature with a Loveless over the water explodes, and he falls down into the water, and he's kind of carried over the falls, and everyone gasps. And then there's like the last second where like he just kind of cascades out of the water, and like the devil of Hellside literally has become a devil and flies out of the waterfall and immediately becomes a tale to be told for all time. This is, I think, the moment that you've cemented your legacy as the true devil bat. What would that look like from Refugil's point of view?
Yeah, so like Refi follows Anjelique Loveless' body falling down and then gets rushed into the falls and then goes over, and you see him kind of with eyes closed, and there's kind of it's alternating scenes between him falling now over the falls and him falling from the fingers over a year ago, just bloodied and bruised both times. But this time, as it flashes back to the current time, his wings unfold again and his eyes open, and one bright red eye, and he just flies back up towards the ship.
Towards the ship? I like to think that Anita's on the other side, hitting the water and like floating, turning visible and floating along, gets out the little grappling gun that she's got attached to her wrist and like shoots it up and like kind of catches the edge of the ship, and then like sort of like just yanks herself up and just like rejoins you guys back on ship near, and all of you sort of reconvene right on the edge of the ship. There's a moment of like recognition that you guys have done it, that you saved the day. It's punctuated by Gimthrak.
So I knocked him unconscious with my shield. Yeah, the whole point was just I want to knock him out.
Yeah, you knocked him unconscious. Here's the thing. We see Anjelique, as she falls over, her dead body topples from the falls, and we see around her neck the key to the last bomb floating and falling as it tumbles with her, and the remote activator. Within the bottom of the ship somewhere is this bomb that she activated 5-6 rounds of combats ago that is ready to explode at any moment. The bomb is still activated. The day is not yet saved. We need to find, rush, stop this bomb. And we're going to do that when we come back from our quick break. So I did not carry Anjelique over the falls and throw her down on my bingo card, but I should have.
That's your fault.
You've been playing Baldur's Gate 3. You should have anticipated this.
I should have. Let's take a quick break. I mean, we've gone through so much, but I do want to give this the proper ending.
Gone through so much coffee, just like, can we break? Can we break? When are we gonna break? When are we gonna break?
I know. I didn't want to like break in the middle of that. It was too much thing. Anyway, don't go anywhere. We're gonna go to break. Use the bathroom.
Oh, I will. God damn it, Richard.
All right, we are back. When the camera comes back from that extended commercial break, all of them have gotten back onto the deck. They've burst their way into the main cabin to find it abandoned. And there's a giant hole in the corner of the room about the size of a Pyronite bomb. And you guys are all standing over the edge of this broken board looking over. And you can basically see giant like scrape marks. This giant hole where you're standing was where the Pyronite bomb was placed. And then when the ship teleported and hit the ground, it broke through, and it's been sliding through the entirety of the ship as this boat's been rocking back and forth. And so now, as you look down this hole, we're basically trying to chase the bomb before time runs out. So we have a certain number of turns to get to the bomb and disarm it. Otherwise, it's all done. So I will present you with the first obstacle. Okay, so we are now on this chase sequence.
Yes. Oh.
Starting the first chase sequence is basically as the ship continues rocking back and forth, you guys just have to like make it down the hallway without like losing your footing. So you can either balance using acrobatics, you can use athletics to sort of hold on to stuff. If you have something like sailing lore, you know how to ease the rocks. I'll give you guys, how are you guys gonna get down the hallway on a rocking boat?
How long has it been since we started the fight?
Sorry, what was that? It's still within the 10 minutes, so you still have your wings. All right, one automatic success for Ruffy for using the wings. Yeah.
Hal has the feet steady balance, where you can keep your balance easily even in adverse conditions.
That would have been nice to know when you were making saves against the ship rocking. If you each want to use your features, I'll let you guys auto succeed.
Deal.
Yep. Okay, so that's 2 successes. So we need Saruk and Anita to have a round in this chase.
What's the one that uses acrobatics, like holding on to?
Yeah, you're just basically like using your acrobatics to make it down the hallway.
Yeah.
How do you feel about like diplomacy to like keep everybody together and like?
I think in this case, I think like a diplomacy doesn't fit because it's you versus like an immobile ship, right?
Oh, fair. So me helping others can't be contributed to like a success.
There will be some opportunity for that, but not in this particular challenge, I don't think.
I see. Okay. Yeah, athletics it is. We're just gonna soldier on.
Quick, prepare sailor lore. You actually kind of did have ship lore.
I can't.
23 for Anita.
All right, 23. 23 is a success.
This is gonna sound really weird. Can I use pursue a lead and designate the bomb?
I'll allow it. Also, Anita, so for you, on each one of your turns, I'll allow either you or Wyber to take an action. I'm just going to kind of treat you guys as a singular unit here.
Oh, okay.
So if you want to, like, if there's some skill you think Wybert's better at, you can have Wybert make the check. And if there's something you think you're better at, you can make the check when your turn on initiative comes up. So that's a success from both of you. That's 4 successes. So we move on to the next challenge. Back in the background, 1 round has passed for everyone. We're 1 tick closer to the bomb exploding. The next room, you kind of come around the rocking boat, and we see another hallway. This time, full of lightning arcs, teleportation arcs. There's this residual primal energy from the teleportation that transported the whole ship. And as you're rushing through, you're basically trying to avoid getting hit by one of these arcs, because if it touches you, you're going to be teleported somewhere randomly on the ship and lose your place. So things that are good here by default: Arcana, Nature, Occultism, or Will saving throw to just avoid being struck, just like powering through and avoid being struck. I would also allow, some other creative solutions. And there's no initiative order. Everyone just has to act once before someone gets to go again. Oh, hello, tabletop rolls with a rating party of 14. You're catching us in the finale of Outlaws of Alkenstar as we're running to try to disable the last bomb.
Refi has a thunderstone. Would it attract any of the... Would it act like a lodestone, attracting any of the arcane energy?
Yeah, I was thinking that like a lightning rod.
I will allow you to do that, but you're going to make a check and you're going to get an item bonus for using the stone. It won't be an automatic success.
All right, so I'll just do the will save then, because I have nothing on Arcana or Occultism or anything magic-y.
So will save with the +2 item bonus as you try to use the stone to draw the energy instead.
All right. Gotcha. 21.
All right. So so you get teleported back to the previous room, which it's not taking away any points, but it doesn't contribute a success. So that's 0 successes to get through this obstacle.
I suppose Saruk is going to see what he hasn't picked up in Eldritch Magic 101. Not much, it seems.
Yeah, 21. You're not able to predict the arcs enough. You think you see a pattern, and then as you step in, it whooshes in front of you. That's another failure. That's 2 failures in a row. Do you want a hero point that? Do you have a hero
I
point?
don't have a hero point.
Oh no. Ruffy and Anita both have hero points from chat, I see.
Could Anita, like you mentioned that they were like lightning strikes, so could Anita fashion a quick lightning rod that she could put very, very far away, and then that would give enough time for everyone to rush through the teleportation room or something?
I will allow you to make a crafting check at a, slightly higher DC, but like, yeah, for sure. You can try to use a crafting check to fashion something to absorb like a lightning rod.
Okay. Huzzah! Huzzah! I would like to use a hero point for that one.
Yes,
Thank you, chat.
Use a hero point. Because you guys are getting my rolls, and now you're not getting anything higher than like a 2 or a 3 on the dice.
This is gonna be a 15. Oh, where did it reroll? Did it reroll? No.
It did.
Okay, that's a 30.
Yeah. 30 is a success. So yeah, you're able to get 1 success point as you rush down. You guys got 1 out of the 4 you need to get through this tunnel. The last person that hasn't gone is Hal.
I was going to say, would I know that this is electricity drawn to metal?
Well, you just watched Anita successfully use the lightning crafting to draw some of it. You can make any assumptions you wish.
Okay. Yeah, I can't do much. Can I affix a rope to a grappling hook and spin the grappling hook like towards the center of the room and like maybe stick it against a wall or a 2x4 or something there and then swing through the room?
Sure. I will allow you to do an athletics check at a slightly higher DC with a +1 item grappling hook bonus.
Grappling hook.
It's like those old Nintendo games where you just like do like a little swing, like, yeah, 30 is enough to succeed on that. So that's 2 out of 4 chase points after 2 rounds of chase. Over somewhere, the bomb ticks. The second round ticks over. We're in our 3rd round of the chase. We got the best shot of getting through this. We need 2 more points to get through.
Is that just like is it presumed that Reffy and I catch up again?
Yeah, you guys are back in there. Like, just as a group, you're still dealing with this, right? So if you guys want to be the ones to make the check, you can't. But once you get these next 2 points, you can move on to the next obstacle. Everyone gets stacked once per round. So I guess who thinks they have the best shot at dealing with this obstacle? You guys have no idea what the next obstacle actually will be. So now here's the other thing. I'm tracking this as a group initiative. Would we rather break this up and you guys are individually trying to get to the bomb?
This seems fine. In the vein of not overthink it, we want to finish the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That said, in the last part, there was a bit about how Wyvern could roll instead of Anita in one. Is that also extended to Kijak?
100%, yeah. Does Kijak have different proficiencies than you?
He's got a bigger will save.
Love it.
So I think we're just gonna, by the grace of Majagua, push through 27.
27 is what you need. That's the 3rd success.
Nice.
You just push.
Nice.
I guess I just have to try another will save then.
I can potentially make it a higher DC if you'd rather do a reflex save just to dodge the stuff. I assume.
I mean, if it's 3 higher, then it doesn't really matter.
True.
Is the DC, would the DC be 3 or higher than the?
I'd make it 2 higher.
Can I don't know if Clue In plays in here.
Can it be here? I'll let you clue him in on what you've learned since you made it through successfully. Sure.
No, Reffy, your other left.
I'm not an ambi-turner.
So that should be a +2 circumstance.
+2. All right. Reflex save. Oh my god.
24 is not enough.
I'm gonna use a hero point.
All right, hero pointed up. Gotta get through these arcs. There we go. 39 critical success. Which
Nice.
is 2 chase points, but you only needed 1, so the last one is sort of spent. So yeah, so we move over here into the next thing. Now you're moving into the panicked crowd. So there's a group of passengers who have been woken up in the middle of the night, no idea what's going on. There's one crew member that is like panicking, sort of building up all the fervor and just telling everyone that like, this is the end, make peace with your gods, we're going to die. And he's just like doomsday culting it up and just whipping everyone into a frenzy. Everyone's like praying, trying to pack, getting into fights. You can't get through them because of this whole situation's going down.
Oh, yes, we can.
We could, but you've already used your action for this round, right?
Boo, boo,
you can do it next
boo.
round. You can do it next round. But who hasn't acted this round yet? I think it was just Anita and Hal, right?
Mm-hmm. I would like to. I'm assuming they're all on the ground, and there's a. So, can I use Combat Climber to climb up above the morass of people and kind of swing across?
Yes, absolutely. Go ahead and make an athletics check to climb over the crowd. Oh, critical success. Yeah, critical success. That's 2 points towards through between you and I'm assuming as you do that, so many people are like amazed that they start like parting themselves. Like, whatever it is, it's 2 successes getting through this. Maybe you take someone with you. I don't know. Leaving just Anita. Now, Anita, this is where if you were playing Baldur's Gate 3, there'd be a little option like a Blithir College or Anita option if you'd like to cash in, because one of the people in this crowd is none other than your sweet love, Maeve, right? Maeve is here and she's in this crowd of panicked people. And when she sees you coming, she like stops panicking and just sort of looks at you confused and sees that you're trying to get through. If you'd like, you can cash in. She will aid you by walking up and just punching the shit out of this dude and shutting him up.
Is she confused because Anita's now like half robot?
There is a moment of part confusion, but it's immediately let go in the severity of the situation. Recognizes what's going on, and there's no judgments from Maeve. She accepts Anita for what she is in this moment and says, we'll deal with that later. If you'd like to cash in on that option.
Yes, Anita would love to cash in that card. And at the same time, like when they both meet, she'll say, what are you doing here? Don't you know that there's a bomb?
No one told me there was a bomb.
There is a bomb here, sweetheart. Come on, let's go.
Well, then why don't you go do something about it so we can talk about
I'm trying.
this.
Come on. Later. I missed you very much, but come on.
Annie, you can fight with your mouse later. We have a bomb to deal with.
So I'll consider that I had to throw this in. If Anita made it here, you would get that option. So that's a critical success. Paired with Hal's critical success, that's actually the 4 points you need to move on to the next hall and tick of the bomb. All right, so now we are in what is
use this.
Yeah, you never got to use this.
Turns the corner. There's no cause for. Oh,
you were both so prepped for that, and neither one of you got to use the thing you built for. That's okay. Love prevailed.
Love wins.
So this is the ruptured hall. This room, there's been a breach in the hull. Basically, water pouring in, furniture floating in the hallway. Just a really tough, heavy like stream of current busting through here, and you can just see the bomb floated right through here. So Anita, like just looking at this with the right, debris and crafting, you could probably just fashion something that can help slow the stem of water. If you guys are acrobatic enough, you just tumble through the like stream of water, or if you're just tough, you can just like fortitude save your way through without getting pushed back.
Has it been 10 minutes yet?
No, you still have your wings.
I fly right over it.
I think even in this case, the stream of water is so heavy that there's no flying over or through it, right?
Fair enough.
You could do the flight thing, but it also is going to be coupled with the save. Saruka, 39 is a success, and you're able to like use your like puzzle logic brain to like build the right thing to sort of like stem the flow of water, giving 2 successes towards getting through.
I'll fly and use my acrobatics to do aerial acrobatics through the air.
All right. Give an acrobatics check. 23 will not be enough. So you do a cool aerial acrobatic. This is the first time you've ever flown in your life, and you just get spewed like back down the hallway, like tumbling into the ground. Even though Saruk has like already stemmed the tide like half of what it was, still you can't get there.
I don't think I've rolled above a 4.
Welcome to my world. Hal, Anita?
Whichever of you goes next, here's a clue in. Alright, never mind, just kidding. I thought it was once per 10 minutes per creature. Fuck!
Oh yeah, it's just 10 minutes, once per 10 minutes. Yeah, that's a good point.
10 minutes. Ooh.
This is all taking place really fast. This bomb is ready to explode any moment. We're definitely measuring how long it's going to explode in minutes, not like longer than that.
Anita would have reinforced the repair that Saruk did. That way, not only could we, like pass, but that way the rest of, like the peoples will be safe as well.
Absolutely. 30 is a success, but not a critical success, taking you guys to 3 of the 4 points you need to get through. There's just the slightest, like, it's a much thinner beam, but just like coming across the hall.
Okay, so would I be able to use Scout's Charge to kind of burst through what's remaining to get to the other side?
Yeah, it'll be a fortitude save, but I'll give you a slight bonus for doing that.
Okay.
Oh boy, 39. When you get a success on the fortitude save, you get a critical success, which is 2 points, taking us to more than we need. So you're able to not only Scout's Charge, but also like sort of grab the rest of your people and pull them through the stream of water. You guys make it through the ruptured hall, down into the next obstacle. Malfunctioning clockwork. One of these clockworks that you guys had, similar to the ones that you left up top, it's been damaged by debris, and it's just like sparking, and it's just spinning wildly. It's not like attacking anyone. It's just swinging its sword wildly, running in the walls. It's between you and where you need to get, and you can see basically at the end of the hall is the bomb itself within sight for the first time. All you need to do is get through this clockwork.
Is this a new round?
This is a new round. Everyone went on the last round, so everyone has the ability to act.
I would like to go. That's okay. I would like to rush forward and knock this thing over. Knockdown to knock it down. Plus, I have Titan's Wrestler, which allows me to do big things.
Okay, make an attack roll.
Do big things, Hal.
Attack roll or athletics?
If you're using that improved knockdown scouts thing, isn't it like an attack roll automatically makes a critical success?
Yes.
If you just want to, I'll let you choose, right? You can do it as an attack roll and use that feature, or you can just make the athletics check straight up.
I'll do an attack roll. This is what it is. 35.
Yep. Let me just double check. Yeah, so that's a hit. So that's it automatically knocks down in that case, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I will definitely count that as a 1 success point.
I'll go next. I'll run up after it's knocked down, take out my thieves' tools, and try to de-wind this thing using thievery.
All right, make a thievery check. .5 is a success. I think as you get in there and you try to disable it, you actually see there's like debris lodged in some of its like gears and stuff, and you're able to pry some of it out with the thievery check, like calming it, which does, you didn't succeed enough to like shut it down completely, but you've calmed it, you've made it a little bit easier to get by, so that is a success towards getting through.
I think Cirque is going to follow behind with his winder's ring. Can I crafting to try to get the thing to stand down?
Yep. That's this critical success. That's the last 2 you need to get through that obstacle, taking us to the final obstacle. So you rush by, you get to basically where the bomb is, and there's like this loud rumbling noise, and you all like look at each other, and basically a giant wave breaks through the ship, picks up the bomb, and starts just flying at you guys. Like the wave, the bomb, everything is being lifted, and you need to basically withstand the force of the wave. And Anita, you're the only one that hasn't gone this round.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, can I hold on to Wybert and then using Wybert's, what would that be? Like athletics or?
Absolutely.
Come on, Wybert. Protect your mama. 33?
33, that's a success. So that's one of the 4 points you guys need to get through. The round ticks over. 3 more successes, then we can disable this bomb. I wouldn't miss too many times, though. The bomb's definitely close to going off.
Oh, it'll be fine. Don't foreshadow it, Tommy.
Acrobatics work here.
Acrobatics could work. It's definitely going to be like you see the wave coming. You look up at all the like pipes and stuff and the broken things. You could probably try to jump up and sort of like maneuver yourself to like hang as the water goes underneath you. Absolutely.
Sure. I think it's 3 higher than my athletics, so.
The wings are definitely going to help you get up into a position, so I won't make the DC higher than the athletics. It'll be the same DC as an athletics check, but you can use your acrobatics.
Oh my god. I haven't rolled better than like an 8.
24 is not a success, so that is 1 failure. Oh, chat gives a hero point to Reficule.
Thank you, chat. Whoever
Yeah,
that
chat.
might have been.
Hallowed RPG. I don't know who that is. Some cool guy.
Nah, he probably sucks.
You can roll higher than that, right?
Come on.
Nope, lower. Well, even keeping the original roll, that's 1 failure, but not a critical failure, so we're good. Everyone else has a chance.
How do we feel about? You might have said, forgive me, but like fortitude save, square shoulders, plant feet, dig in, kind of vibes.
This is going to be a harder DC than the stream of water before, but it's absolutely something you could do.
Alrighty.
You could also, if you don't like, just going on the opposite side, if you wanted to use brains over brawn, you might be able to like find a place to like slip into and just let the rushing water go past. But if you want to try to just brace and go through it, absolutely.
Yeah, I think
In this moment, you got the brains versus brawn aspect of Saruk coming into play.
Kijak is gonna bear the weight for us. Theoretically,
Yep, that is going to be a failure, so no point for Saruk. That leaves us Anita and Hal, and we need 3 points here to get through this round.
Let's see.
I feel like Anita just went, right?
That was at the start of the previous, like the end of the last round.
There, right.
Yeah. So we really need a critical success here, guys.
No pressure.
Or if you have a hero point, you know, maybe we need a hero point for Kijak. You guys got to have some coins saved up, right?
I gave them to you and you didn't use them, Steven.
That's true. I did not use them. I felt bad using it against you guys.
I'm short 400 points.
All right.
If we die, we die. It's fine.
Log on to one of your other accounts.
Quick, do the alt account.
They're all short too. Think.
All right. Hal, Anita, we need a critical success in one of
Feather
these.
step to step into difficult terrain, and maybe I step like the waves are going up and down, and as they recede a little bit, Hal will move forward and try to push the bomb to keep it in place.
Okay. I will count that as a athletics check with a I'll lower the DC slightly since you have, well, actually I'll give you a bonus to your roll, but essentially it's the same thing. Take a +1 circumstance bonus. You hold your feet in the water. Well, I'm gonna tell you it's a success. If you want to use a hero point, maybe you'll get the critical success.
It works for Richard so well.
That is no longer a success. But holding true to the previous ruling, I'll allow you to keep the original success and not lower it down to something worse. So that's 1 more success, giving us 2 out of 4, meaning Anita, it's up to you here.
So I'm thinking. I'm thinking like the Star Wars way of like just shooting ropes into this bomb and bringing it down. That way it doesn't go anywhere.
You got the grappling hook.
I do, but I want it. Could I reinforce my grappling hook with a stronger piece of rope? Oh shoot! look at the bomb, figure out the best way to keep it down so that it doesn't ride with the wave. Because I know I know there's this equipment wherein if you shoot at it or something, or if you fall, it pretty much just brings out like cushion to, like to protect you from the fall. So I was thinking, if these waves are crashing, maybe I can shoot like a quick invention up into the bomb. That way, if it ever hits anything, it'll still keep floating or just not detonate from the force.
Yeah, I got you. It'll be like an improvised crafting sort of thing.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. Huzzah!
2's not going to do it here. If you got a hero point, which I assume you have one.
I still have a hero point.
You have one, so you were hoping to save this for the bomb check, but we should use it now.
Yeah, we need to get to the bomb first. Come on. There we go. 29.
29 is a success, but it's not quite a critical success, which gives us 3 out of the 4 chase points. And I think at this point, it's pretty apparent to you, Anita, that like there's like you hear the like tick 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 click clack click clack click ring ring ring, and there's like a bell going off. You are past the point. This thing is already in the process of detonating. So whatever DC that existed to disable this device has gone up.
Mm-hmm.
But I still give you like the waves recedes. You guys all come up on the bomb. It's in the middle of its detonation process. There's like liquid being injected into other things. There's like automated fuses that are being like lit. So it's like all these long fuses. There's like 12 fuses going to different bundles. Everything's in process of going off, and you're seeing it all in that moment. You guys can all, or one of you can attempt this, or you can aid each other. You get one shot at disabling this device.
One shot, jeez.
We had one shot.
One opportunity.
One opportunity. Okay, so out of character. Nina, do you want it or should I?
Sorry, what?
Do you want it or should I? I think our mods are about the same.
Yeah, I
don't
got
know
a
how
20 plus 22.
Your mod is better than mine. Just kidding. I'm gonna roll to aid Nina.
Okay.
So is Bomb Lore cool?
Yeah, Bomb Lore is 100% cool in this situation.
Okie dokie for
Finally!
38. So that's a critical success.
That's a critical success, which is going to give Anita +2. Is it circumstance bonus?
Yeah, +2 circumstance bonus.
What's the DC on aiding here? 20?
Yeah.
Yeah, DC. But like you can't stack circumstance bonuses, and you already hit the critical success. At best, you can get in there with Refuel, but at best you add nothing. At worst, you actually add a circumstance penalty.
Yeah, no, then I'm not going to do anything.
And I'm only trained in that given lore, so it doesn't go higher.
Yep. So, Anita, like this can be thievery, this can be crafting, this can be engineering lore, this can be bomb lore. Yeah.
I have expert disassembler, so I can use my crafting to disable a device. Mm-hmm.
I think Hal pops open a cigarette pack, and he just looks at it and hands it to him, and he's like,
I take one.
Just casually open flame in front of dynamite.
I put one hand behind Hal's back and one hand behind Saruk's back, and I just give him a nod. You got this, Annie.
Anita looks at Maeve and she says, "You shouldn't be here, love." Well, wish me
She just
luck.
mouths the words like, "I believe in you." So normally this would be a DC 30 with the failure and in the thing in the middle of like diffusing. I'm gonna call this the DC 35.
Jesus.
Gee, thanks.
Okay, I need to roll an 11 and higher.
Does anyone have
hero
points?
Hang on.
If there's anyone in chat with a hero point, let's cash it in now, because this is going to be the roll of all rolls.
Nina, don't worry about it. It's fine. You and I have plot armor.
Maybe, just maybe. Let me think.
Can I combine.
You know, we've been
this
through a
and
lot.
One for my altar.
No, Steve, let it. If it goes bad, it goes bad.
You wanted to? I'll give you. I mean, I haven't given you guys got a lot of hero points. I can give you a hero point if you guys collectively think you want a hero point in this situation to tip the odds in your favor. But if you want to let it ride,
Can we monologue our way into being rewarded a hero point?
No, let the drama be the drama.
I will allow you guys to do whatever. It's your story and your ending to your story. How much do you want the scale to tip in one way or another?
Let it ride.
Let it ride.
11 or higher, my friends.
Everyone believes in you, Anita.
It has
All
been
of
an
your
honor.
training, all of your schooling, all the innocent people on this boat, the entire
Whoa.
castle of Alkenstar, the city of Hellside that'll be caught in the blast radius.
The ghost of Vashon Gad will be floating behind you, like bolt.
The click
Red
clack,
or
you can
blue?
hear that click clack noise. It all slows down. There's a small, like, kind of like presence felt with you as you feel Bri herself sort of kind of come down as she just like, you can just feel her presence, right? The rest of the world seems to be going slower. She's there with you. And she tells you, it's okay. You have this trust in yourself. I believe in you.
Rafi, do one thing.
Yeah, this is the time to do a thing.
I grab Saruk. Tusks,
What?
can I kiss you?
Fuck it. And in we go.
I kiss Tusks, and after a moment, I look towards Anita. Nah, I just don't get it.
It's very lovely. I hope that you get to do it again.
You don't get
You guys
what?
look very lovely. Oh, in
Are
the
you Ulysses
quiet.
Gary Mendoza? Stop the bomb. You
Oh,
are
yeah.
talking a lot.
In the quiet. Yeah.
Click,
In the quiet
clack.
after Bri comes down. Anita takes in a breath, looks at all her friends that, oddly enough, made sure that she was alive so that she can clip this final wire and save Alkenstar. And she looks at Maeve and she says, "It took me this long to realize how incredibly important and precious you are to me. It's unfortunate that it's taken me this long and that I may never be able to say it again. Let's do this. Blue! 11 or higher.
That's it.
41!
17 on the dice, 41 total. Against all odds, preventing even a partial explosion with a critical success here. Well, not quite a critical success, but yeah, basically that's high enough that I think I considered possibly having a partial explosion, which would be less devastating, but still devastating. No. With bated breath, you succeed your check. The bomb has been stopped. The day is saved. Click, clack, click, and there's no clack. And we fade to black. Did it, guys.
Jesus, that was so nerve-wracking.
Never felt the weight of that single dice roll be so heavy, right?
No hero
Yeah.
point, nothing.
No, it was better that way. I think it was better that way. In the, weeks after this, the truth comes out about everything that was happening. The gear smoke is cleared from the rubble. There's no major damage to the city, no major damage to the infrastructure. Everyone knows that Grand Duchess Trieta Russia personally put an end to this plan, that her hand guided the agents of Alkenstar to prevent such a dangerous madman from being on the loose. She uses it to boost her popularity. Public sentiment goes up. The specifics of your involvement are kept hush-hush given the nature of your status as outlaws. And yet, there's no denying especially internally, the grateful attitude they have towards you guys, even though you went a little rogue at the end and kind of shirked your shackles, you did it in a way where you protected the city, and they thank you for that. And you are now indebted, or the Duchess herself is indebted to you. She uses this resurgence, the fear, to like enact pretty strong reform within the city to weed out a lot of the Shield Marshal corruption. The Iron Master who runs a lot of Shield Marshals was like basically forced to resign over this. You are all awarded a total, I mean, it doesn't matter so much, but you're given a bounty of 2,000 gold to take and split your way and do what you'd like to do to start the next journey of your life. You are all cleared of any outstanding crimes against you. She has pardoned you for all crimes, all past crimes that you have. Your slates are wiped clean, whether they were real crimes or just, fake crimes that you were set up with. You got a clean slate and a clean start. The only thing is that you can't go around telling people. You're not supposed to be quite open with what transpired and that you guys were hired outlaws forced into servitude. That part you kind of have to keep quiet if you want to honor the terms of the agreement. The city will eventually correct itself. Anjelique Loveless had an idea of forcing change in the city, change in a way that she thought she should bring about. But thanks to you guys, the city has changed in a slightly different way. Instead of turning against Clockworks, it's, becoming more embraced. The Clockworks don't have the fault of like going mad like a lot of the Shield Marshals tend to do and be brutal. So most conscription laws that have been being pushed through Congress fall apart. No one's going to be forced into military servitude. All that's directly related to you guys, and you have a forever lasting impact on the city, as well as by stopping this plan and containing the Pyronite from really making its way out. Pyronite itself will not be made known. It did not cross the borders into Nexar-Geb. The world will not be exposed to the dangers and the threat of Pyronite as a bomb. It'll be safely held, stored, and monitored by the city of Alkenstar itself and taken back to the gunworks for proper disposal, storage, and or monitoring, and probably future technological advances as needed. But within weeks, Alkenstar is back to its normal self. I would say this would be a time with your characters to kind of give a quick sort of, you all survived, so what would happen like next? What is your character's next step? What does the rest of their life look like, etc.? And as you guys, I want to give you guys the floor to share some of that, whatever you think would best befit your character.
Pick somebody, Steve.
Let's start with Saruk.
Okay, so I think in the immediate after effects of everything you just described, there's a lot of like, it probably feels like nose in the business that shouldn't be there. They're like, this is how to do, this is what law enforcement ought to look like. Here are the things that are going bad. Here are just like up in the business of, as things are like spinning outward. I don't think Saruk would just dip out immediately after I don't know if this is written down, so I'll ask you, Steve. How long did the campaign take place? Like in-game?
I would say from beginning to end, most of the time probably took place in our trip to the Cradle of Quartz, which took weeks, right? Like it took like 1 or 2 weeks, I think, for all that.
Plus the like several months of people being in jail in the prologue. Okay, so after like half a year-ish of near-death experiences, bringing people back from the grave, fighting each other and fighting alongside each other, I don't think there would be more than just like disappear, especially if somebody is like, hey, can I kiss you? And now feelings are places. But nevertheless, for at least a little while, Saruk has to get back to Matakali, which I guess by airship is, I don't know how long that takes to do, but there's like one moment, there's wherever Saruk is staying, presumably at the Barrel and Bullet, there's a note that's like, hey, going home. We'll be back. When Saruk goes home, if Janaya, that was his name, if Janaya wants to, rather than like live in a tavern or have whatever it is that like passes for like care of homeless children in Alkenstar, Saruk would offer to take him back to Madakali, introduce him to structures and systems that can give him a better quality of life. If he doesn't want to, then I think Saruk would feel really bad about it, but like wouldn't force the kid to like, nope, sorry, leave everything you know. Come with me.
So I'll pose you a choice here, because he's torn between two possible branches for his life future. One is following you, going into the structure, following you back home and following in those paths. The other is that in the wake of this Phoebe Dunsmith, who has been forced, much like yourselves, into service, has finally earned her freedom, her retirement, and she's ready to retire. She's leaving the bar to her sister or her cousin, I think it was. I don't remember. She's gonna retire, and she's gonna like open up a playhouse, dedicated playhouse, and she's offering to take him under her wing and raise him herself to be an actor. So, so do you want him to stay in Alkenstar and become an actor, or do you want him to come back home with you and he'll go whichever way you decide?
I think
he's a young child. He's very malleable, so he will go with whatever flow it is.
In that case, if like there's going to be a better, like he's going to have a better home for him, and Phoebe is also out of the fucking ringer with Alkenstar's laws, blah, 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 then yeah, it seems fine. So rather than let him stay here, plus that will, well, more in a minute. When Saruk gets back to the MSSP, turning in Gimthrak for like conjuring demons inside the city's walls is probably a lot of paperwork, but then that paperwork ends up ultimately with like whether or not they would want to reinstate him for like him getting like that crime was framed on him and all of this bad shit. But whether or not they wanted to or not, I think Saruk would ultimately turn in his badge. And further, there's an old woman somewhere in Madakali whose son's armor that I'm wearing. I think Saruk would probably track her down, remove the armor, give it back. This isn't mine, I was borrowing it. It should go. That kind of logic. There would be a moment where it's like, go stop in, and it's been a while since I've said this in character, and I don't know who is or isn't watching, but like, Madakali is the very, like, you have fought all of the demons in the Mwangi expanse, and you have earned your keep, and you have done all of this big shit. Now come live this relatively easy lap of luxury kind of thing. And Saruk's mother is a retired crusader, but his dad is just like this, like, old art teacher who has retired. Just this, like, your average, everybody had that, like, kind of stoner art teacher in high school, right? Kind of my ass, you all know. And then it'd be like, go see them, go see Saruk's sisters as and when they're home, catch up, tell them why the fuck I've been gone for 6 months. And then that culminates, I think, with the realization that Saruk had traveled, I'm not looking at the map, but it's something like 1,500 miles from Madakali to Alkenstar to chase down someone who had done his people wrong and had been very like tunnel visioned about, and we're here to do this, and we're doing this, and we're doing this, and this is why I am here, and don't be exposed to anything else, and man, this city sucks. But then like you start getting dirt under your fingernails with people, and you start having to like, this big fuck off snake is going to eat someone who doesn't deserve to be here in the first place because they're not a fighter, they're a student, and then they die. And then here is this like gruff outlander warrior who's like watching over us, but clearly has like a beast within that he himself is quietly fighting, to say nothing of the victimized child turned assassin. That like over all of this there are like bonds of friendship that develop, though he has a life in Madakali, abandoning Refi and Hal and Anita would be, no, you couldn't do. So I think where Saruk lands is ultimately Saruk would come back to Alkenstar permanently. Whether or not there is, like, I think Saruk would probably, if for no other reason than he's attached, like, if Refi reciprocates, there would pursue a relationship with him, but ultimately I think it's like, get all of my gear that is worth what people are spending a shit ton of money on food about, sell it, make a lot of money, and then convert all of that money to I think something along the lines of a, like, relatively small-ish public schoolhouse somewhere in Smokeside, funded by him personally for the goal of providing, like, his neighbors' children, refugees who are coming here to, like, escape the undead slavery in Geb, or migrant workers who are coming here because this is where the work is, and the Mana Waste is where death and chaos storms are. To, like, here is a city that is talking about an ethos of hard work and self-improvement, but with nothing to back that up. So Saruk is smart enough, is capable enough to help back that up, teach people anything from, like, how the system of government works, how you can fit into it in such a way that it, like, doesn't blow your moral compass. Also, it doesn't, like, you don't know how city policies work, and so you're going to get trampled under those gears that are click clack all over the place. There's probably also some, like, here are the basics of how a firearm works, here's how you can use that to defend yourself, here's how, please no, don't leave that loaded, what are you doing, basic gun safety 101, which I don't think he's going for, like, fortune, fame, or anything more than the notoriety equivalent to that guy who showed up to an apartment complex with way too much fucking bread that don't ask where it came from.
To that point, one thing I like to imagine that, like, one of the lasting things that kind of outlives Saruk in a way, and I think if you even ask most Alkenstar residents, like, down the road, they don't really know its origins, but there is a sort of holiday that's springing into existence, which has been called, like, Community Day, which is basically kind of equivalent to, like, our, like, concept of, like, a Labor Day, where, like, basically the community gets together to share with your neighbor, something that wasn't really seen much until Saruk kind of came along and started sharing with his neighbors. And it's become a staple to make the best fancy, savory, sweet bread you can do. And every Community Day is basically people trying to outdo each other by baking the best bread. And nobody knows why, but we know it goes back to Saruk and that first bread delivery.
I can't think of anything else other than just, like, Saruk went a really, really long way to do one thing, but then realized when he got there, wait, shit, I've lived my whole life under this one notion. I haven't really stopped and, like, made friends and shit, and now here are friends. So the rest of his days, other than, like, if he's called to, other than maybe a side of go to that temple of Yog-Sothoth and tear it apart brick by brick by brick, but don't worry about that, is just peace, love, friendship for the rest of his days.
Very nice.
Out of character, each and every one I run Pathfinder games on the internet professionally. I have, like, 36 hours of games in a week. It's my full-time job. I am the poster boy for don't turn your hobby into your career or you'll burn out, and God knows it is really hard for me to find a TTRPG group to fit in with that doesn't feel like I'm just showing up for work or isn't, like, gamer bros on the internet who just want to, like, dice about mechanics for 4 hours. And, like, each and every one of you, pardon my French, you fucking kick ass at what you do. Like, I had a lot of people in my life over and over again. It was like, hey, you want to see that thing I do? Twitch. And those who, like, were femme presenting would, like, right after be like, oh my god, Ninna is so cool, her character is so great, this is the best thing. I never find content that isn't just a bunch of, like, guys on the internet back and forth dicing and shit. So the amount of positive feedback I got from friends and partners about Ninna. I also really like having people in my life who will, like, in my games, who will foil me everyone agreeing forever and ever and ever is it gets the plot moving. God, it's boring. And we need the drama. I say that even as Hal is like hand on the wheel. No, Tommy, stop. Tommy, no. Tommy, stop chewing the fat for 4 hours. Content.
Tommy, chew the fat, please.
All right, cool.
Fat.
Call me again in 6 months when we do this, and I'm gonna chew all of your fat. That came out weird. Somebody. And also, Steve is okay, I guess.
Deal.
Yeah, Steve's there, but really,
you are so good at stuff.
The magic is you for.
The amount of people who I talked to about the Cradle of Quartz, and I told them we all survived and we got the NPC out, no casualties, and they just didn't believe me. We're like, how? That's impossible. It's not impossible. Just like be a good GM, to say nothing to the amount of like care and attention you put through the stupid fucking ads at the beginning, which when we don't do them, I feel weird because it's like, why haven't I laughed at Steve's dumb sense of humor? I'm not ready for Pathfinder. That the chase scenes are really good, and on and on and on and on and on. Okay, I've talked enough. Somebody take this mic away from me.
I'll take the mic, but thanks, Tommy. I love hearing it. I'm glad that you could come, spend 36 hours a week doing this, and come here and play and be able to enjoy yourself and come out the other end. I mean, if you say that you're having a great time here, then we must be doing something right.
Oh, you are. You fucking are.
So let's keep that mic pass on to Hal. So Hal, what are we looking at for Hal's epilogue?
So I think some time goes by as you see the dust blow across the road of Hellside, and you also see the hurried feet of residents gathering outside the doors of the Barrel and Bullet Saloon. And you hear a voice addressing the crowd. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow residents of this frontier town, I stand before you today as an average man who knows the taste of defeat, the sting of disappointment, and the weight of responsibility. My journey, much like this town's, has been one of trials and tribulations, but let me assure you, our story is far from over. For today, a new chapter begins, a chapter where an average man takes on the role. The days when lawlessness seemed like an insurmountable challenge, when our safety lay shattered amidst the ruins of our struggles, yet here we are, standing on the cusp of transformation. You see, I understand the pain of setbacks and the desperation of wanting to give up. But what defines us is not our adversities, or not the adversities we face, but how we rise above them. Just as I have risen above, so shall this town. Not about donning the badge and enforcing law from a distance. It's about the daily commitment to protect, to serve, and to uplift one another. I may have been an average man once, maybe even an outlaw, but I've come to realize the true strength lies in unity. And he looks to his friends and then glances to each one and nods to them before he looks back out to the crowd. Each one of you has a stake in the safety of our community, a responsibility to watch out for one another. It's time we weave those threads of vigilance together into a fabric of security. And as we step into this new era, let's remember that a sheriff is not a symbol of authority, but of accountability. I've walked the path of adversity, and I've learned that justice is a force far mightier than any weapon, as he glances towards Saruk. Our town's wounds can be healed with fairness, our disputes settled with impartiality, and our trust rebuilt through transparency. It won't be an easy journey. Upholding the law never is, but I believe in us, and I believe in the strength that comes from picking ourselves up when we stumble, and the resilience born from facing challenges head on. This town is a reflection of our shared values, and it's time to exemplify those values for the generations that follow. So, let's restore not just the order that has been lost, but the harmony that was disrupted. Let's reclaim the sense of security that was taken away in the chaos. Let this town be a testament to the power of the community and the unyielding dedication of its sheriff. Remember, friends, an average man is not defined by their ordinary beginnings, as he glances towards Reficule, but by their unwavering determination to rise. With every sunrise, we have the opportunity to rise as guardians of our own lives and as protectors of a safer community. Let's seize that opportunity together and bring a new era of lawfulness to this town. And our journey as sheriff and community begins today. He takes off his hat and bows to the crowd as there are light applause, and the scene fades to black as Hal is now the new sheriff of Alkenstar.
Let me ask you something for Rick, for Hal. Given the newly vacated post of Iron Master within Alkenstar, which is it's an appointed post, the Duchess has the power to appoint someone, and they just have to be approved by the council. The Iron Master is basically the commander of all shield marshals. Is that something that Hal would be interested in taking up?
Hal would do that because living with Lyran and knowing his connection to Loveless, he's, I think, quickly able to identify that the good shield marshals versus the bad shield marshals, and he, one by one, slowly dismisses them from their duties, and I think uses Saruk as a arbiter of justice and lawfulness around Alkenstar, and he would take that post, but it wouldn't be a fear of the shield marshals or a fear of what had come in the several hundreds of years that Loveless had held a post, but a more honest and open transparency as the hell side of this town rises to, at some point in future, meet sky side of this town, where there's equality both in law but in justice amongst the rich and the poor.
And I think that's that. We have our new Iron Master of Alkenstar, Iron Master Halbrant Beastwood. One of the biggest regrets I have for this campaign is we never really got to delve into Hal's backstory or know much about Hal. That was lost in the shuffle, and I am forever going to be sad about that. But it is awesome to see that, you know, you had a path and a plan for him, it seems.
I appreciate the latitude and opportunity, Steve, that you provided each and every one of us.
Yeah. I think this was one character you came in not really telling me much, and we kind of figured it out as we went along, right?
Yeah, that is accurate.
Well, let's keep the train rolling. Anita.
Sorry, I was trying to write as much as I can. So for Anita, Sue, I've lost her accent, so I'm sorry, guys. So soon after the events above Alkenstar, Anita would have came back home to Phoebe's and immediately looked for Kojak. She'd tell him, even though he would most likely forget, that she finally now has enough money for them to go back home, and that even though it sounds boring to go back to school, she'll finish, because at the end of the day, it is what she promised to him. She'll find herself, quite frankly, addicted to the presence of her friends, being that they shared so many ups and downs with each other, and on top of that, they're the only ones who can truly understand what happened. Not Maeve, not Kojak, not Phoebe, no one, only them. So after some time, when she feels that the high of what transpired had settled and the realities of having to continue on with her life dawns, Anita crafts a bracelet for each of them, with a charm similar to the tattoo Halbrand has, except for like Anita's whole name. And so one night she'll invite them to her home, probably make dinner, and then as she secures the bracelet to each of their wrists, she says, I don't think that I would ever meet a group that I would lay my life down for. And I'm very, very grateful and appreciative of everything that you've done for me. This life that I have now I wouldn't even imagine that I would get to experience, but because of what you did for me, especially at that temple, I get to see it, I get to experience it. And so thank you. I know that you all have lives to live. But here's a gift. Also, it's a tracker. So, yeah, you all can fly off to wherever you want to go, but I would know where you will be going. So, I'm not doing it secretly. You know that I will be keeping track of you. That way, and then she shows that actually at the very bottom, there's a button in there. That way, whenever you need me, or whenever you need the rest of us to come in, and what I have to do is bring the gang back in again, you can just press that button right there, and we'd all fly to where you are. And then, yeah, sure, she'll feel super sad about it as well, but eventually she lets go. And then, as for Refi, knowing what she knows about Refi, she'll really pursue him to stay because he's her brother. And one day she realizes that she feels that she might be clipping his wings by not letting him fly off wherever he wants to. So she tells him, Rafa, you were raised to feel obligated to stay. And I don't want you to get old still feeling that. So if you want to leave, that's okay. Just come and visit every once in a while. And say hi, because Kojak's gonna forget. Maeve's doing her own thing. And right now you're all that I have. So do what you want to do, but every once in a while, say hello. And you know, I really think you and Saruka are cute together. So maybe think about it again. Yeah? Okay. And then we can cut that scene, and then I know that Anita had a confession with Maeve when she was, trying to defuse that bomb. And being that she's not a very emotionally intelligent person, she'll be so weird around her at first. Like, if anything, she'll avoid her. She'll try and hide from her. She's probably going to get her bad. But for Anita, it's like she doesn't understand what she's going through. So, yeah, she'll act weird around her. And, like, with her fear that her confession would actually push her away, she wasn't really truly aware that, like, her actions after the fact were the ones pushing her away and not the confession itself. So eventually she realizes that for as smart as she is, she's really dumb when it comes to realizing that it shouldn't be this hard when it comes to her. So one evening, she goes to Maeve's house and says, you drive me absolutely mad that I want to pull my hairs out every single day. But every single day, you are also the first and last thought that I have. I want to be there for you on your happiest days, but more so when you are at your lowest. And in the absence of literature in the libraries explaining to me what this is, I apologize, really, that it's taken me this long to understand that what I feel for you is love. I want to try again, because now I feel that I'm going to do it right. So, Maeve, I love you. and I want to be with you. And I'm sorry that I was a little bitch about it this entire time.
I think her immediate response is basically to like just shake her head and like turn away from you.
I understand.
And then you hear her say, "You really can be quite stupid sometimes, can't you?" And she turns around and she's got like a smile and tears of joy, and she just like wraps her arms around you and gives you a kiss and says yes.
See? And then after they make out, Anita would say in like her naivety, I really don't understand why Refi doesn't think this is great.
Roll for initiative.
But my out of character is like, I know that the last couple of weeks have been like really, really, really been busy. And I appreciate you guys so much for your patience, especially with me, because it's all me, guys. It's all me. It's been me.
Aw, like last week was me, the week before was Rick, but you know, we've all taken our turn.
So I really appreciate everyone's patience because I really do enjoy like playing with everyone. And it's so fun to be in a group that's so shameless in how dramatic we can be when it comes to our characters. You can't find that anywhere. You have to have a lot of luck for that one. So I'm always grateful that I get to play in this table and be surrounded not only by people who know their shit, but by people who are willing to go with what you're doing. Like, it's a lot of yes ends with this group, and I'm so happy, and I feel so lucky to have found you guys.
Feeling is very mutual, believe us. Like, you know, it goes back 100 times back to you. And, you know, it's hard to imagine doing this without you.
Hopefully you work. Guys, stop getting COVID, please. It's always COVID.
It'd be a lot easier if we can just make COVID go away. As Nina catches up a lung. Uh-oh. But yeah, it was really interesting from my perspective, seeing where Anita started and where she ended, and the especially when she died, because that was like, oh my gosh. And then the whole like, maybe she'll be resurrected, maybe she won't, and then she was sort of given a purpose, and then kind of it just kind of naturally coming down to the last role being in Anita's hands. It kind of came back full circle. Like, Anita was brought back for a reason, where I needed something to put the right person in the right place at the right time, and it just organically came together, made a nice moment, I think.
There has been one time in my whole life when it's come up to, oh no, someone's character died. Are we going to resurrect them? Hear our dice roll. Everything is dicey, that I cried actual real people tears in fucking, is this gonna work or not? So,
That was a really epic moment, the way we played out that thing. That was, I'll always remember that scene and that opening. That was the opening to like the second book, right? We just started with that, I think. Whew,
Yeah,
what a way to start.
Jumped into it, yeah.
Yeah, what a way to start. And, you know, I did not expect Nina to be like cyborg by the end of the campaign, but, you know, it kind of all makes sense in Alkenstar, like half clockwork. So, yeah, the love comes back to you 100 times, Nina, and, you know, patience, you know, it's well worth waiting, because I couldn't imagine finishing this out without you here. So,
yeah.
all right, well, those are some big shoes to follow. So, Ruficule.
Refi does fuck all. No, just kidding.
The end.
No, Refi does find himself a bit unsure of himself and his place. He sticks around with his friends for a while. Tries to make a relationship with Saruk work at first. But eventually tells Saruk that he just doesn't feel that attraction or those feelings towards anyone, really. But he does feel affection and friendship and trust for him. But he sticks around for Hal becoming the Iron Master. He sticks around taking care of Kojak with Annie. Things break off a little bit awkwardly with Saruk as he goes to Madakali, saying he's going to come back. But after that conversation with Annie, seeing her with Maeve, seeing Hal taking his place, he never felt love for the city. He never felt duty to it. The thing that connected him was anger and hate. He doesn't have that anymore. But he's not sure what he has. So eventually, seeing everyone kind of settled in, taking their place, he does leave Alkenstar for the first time. Second time after the Cradle of Quartz in his life. And just drifts, trying to find himself, I guess. Trying to find his own kind of code of living. He's always lived for other people, lived through other people. So he's trying to find who he is. But after a while, he'll stop by every once in a while, Alkenstar. And I would say eventually he does return for good. And if Saruk would be willing to put up, knowing his limitations in a relationship, I think he'd be willing to become partners, knowing that they know each other better than anyone else and can push each other's buttons better than anyone else.
Oh, it's true.
And Hal has his work, and I'm sure another shield marshal to take up partnership with. Anita has Maeve, and I don't think Refi, in his travels or anywhere else, finds a better partner than Saruk. So.
Damn it, Nina.
It was also interesting from my perspective to watch where Refikul came from, because we started with this sort of like angsty cowboy gunslinger who just wanted revenge against his father sort of thing. And then we got to that point where it was sort of the end of what we thought might have been the end of Refikul's sort of story. And then to watch the other characters just organically change the situation and change Refi. The Refi's not the same Refi that we met back in the beginning of the prologue, let alone the middle of book one, right? So, watching your characters actually interact and change Refi was interesting. And we got to that moment where we had to make the decision, like, is this the end for Refi, or is he going to stick around to the end? And I got to say, I'm very happy that you stuck around to the end with Refi. If not just for that image of Uldrak, the demon flying out of the waterfall to Hellside, was worth everything to get there.
And I will say that he does visit Muglin once, and only once. And he doesn't forgive him, doesn't tell him that he forgives him. He tells him that he lets him go, that he won't occupy his thoughts or his emotions at all, and he'll never see him again, and I'll never think of him again, and I never go back.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that seems like the best way to end that relationship for sure.
You know what? What a good question you bring up. There were a bunch of NPCs, one of which probably at some point it's like, hey, whatever happened to that Shoma guy? Uh-oh. But like there are a bunch of people who like on purpose Saruk was trying to not kill because they're either a victim of the society they're in, freaking out because no technology, under the influence of an outer god apparently, or so on and so forth. What becomes of them, Steve? Does the change happen? Do like all of these people turn the corner and do better?
So some of them for sure. I'm trying to remember all the ones off the top of my head. Shoma unfortunately met an untimely end
great.
At the hands of Refikul. We know that much, right? He was not allowed to be given a second chance. That was taken from him in dramatic fashion. We had Gattleby, who ended up fighting the bullet. So Gattleby didn't survive, right? What was the name? It was Kosawana, Olaman Kosawana, that you had to rescue from the Cradle of Quartz. Had you not intervened like you did, he would have basically gone in a very bad downward spiral and sort of, not like a doomsday cult per se, but he would have been like one of those like doomsayers on the corner with the sandwich board saying like the end is near, ringing a bell, like just telling people like how it's all meaningless, there's no point. He was like lost, but you had a very strong heart to heart with him. And I think you actually made some rolls against him that I was using to gauge what happened with him. And I think your words put him back on a path to, I don't want to say redemption, because it was more as you see, like, he never really lost his faith. He just misplaced it in the wrong thing. But I think you guided him back to find the true faith of Bry and in the logic and design, and to stop going down the conspiracy theory hole and stop, for all intents and purposes, red pilling himself into believing crazy things and put him back on that path. He actually is able to go ahead and rejoin the church and eventually retain that high cog status that he once had, that he had been taken from him, but it takes him a lot of time. But that would not have been possible had you not intervened. That's 100% a direct reaction from your influences on him. The barrel and bullet, like, you know, once Phoebe retires, she's able to move on and pursue her passion, which is drama, theater, playhouse, writing. She becomes a writer. She puts on awesome plays, and she pours every bit of her soul into that. Like, she, much like you guys, she was forced into her stature. She wanted out, but it was always, there's one more job. This job was big enough that she earned her reprieve, and that would not have been possible without you guys directly stopping the plot. So she was granted her freedom and able to sort of raise the new son and bring him up in the acting, and leave that whole spy part of her life behind and just focus on enjoying the last bits of life she has left. She left the bar to the rest of the crew, who still to this day keep it running. What was Phoebe? It was been like months and months since we talked about their name.
Yeah, I'm brain farting too.
Yeah.
MB Halfling, Hot Tiefling Orc.
Yeah,
Hot
Tiefling Orc. That's right, Hot Tiefling
Sorry,
Orc.
Maeve.
A martial artist.
Yeah.
That's it. It's brain no remember name. Sorry.
Yeah. Does Refi ever go back and continue training with their ship, or is it over?
Yeah, I think he continues training so much. Eventually, he puts down the gun for good and just continues training with martial arts, more for the art itself. And he takes up the profession of being a professional bull rider.
Oh.
Literally.
Were there any?
Damn.
Were there any other NPCs in particular you can remember?
Yes. Where's Aldo? What is he doing
Oh,
here?
We get to know what Aldo would have to
R.I.P.
Aldo-
Bastion, by the way. Anita
Aldo was on the boat, by the way, so Aldo's fate was tied to you guys. We didn't get to see him.
It was.
Aldo
It
was
was
on
in
the
a
boat.
boat, of course.
So, like, part of the labor movement was working really close with Anjelique Loveless. So she was kind of helping them, one of the politicians, to push her laws through, and was using the labor movement as a way to kind of push anti-clockwork fervor. And Aldo was swept up into that without realizing why he was being swept up into it. He was just a cog in somebody else's plans, which is why a lot of those riots and demonstrations were happening against Clockwork's kind of manufactured stuff. Aldo was saved. His life was saved because of that. He did rekindle his love with Wanda. What was her name? I forget her name now. Anyone remember her name? Anyways, he became a better man. He grew from his experience, and he's a very strong advocate of unions within Alkenstar, and he's one of the more vocal people, and he's constantly asking Saruk for advice and plans, and making sure that, like, you know, he's not being played anymore. He doesn't want to be somebody else's cog. He wants to, you know, he wants to make sure he's his own man.
No, that's very important. And make sure you're going to the Church of Toron. Don't miss Zumba
Yeah.
Day.
Yeah, Refi drags the whole group every week to Doomba.
You know what
Iron
I've
Master
realized?
Halbert. And like every single time, Anita would be Iron Master Halberd.
Salute. No, I'm just realizing if we do end up doing something like the Sky King's Tomb, Aldo's gotta be in the dwarven city of Highhelm, right? He's gonna be doing dwarven Zumba there, right? Yeah, he'd have to. One way or another.
International competition's gone up to Highhelm to fucking.
I tried to have options for Aldo to be everywhere that we could. It just was a fun recurrent character that just organically sprang up from the prologue. We didn't have time to explore him on the ship. Had we had more episodes, we would have been able to interact with them more. But I did have sort of a long-term plan to tie him into the overarching plot, but we didn't really get into a lot of the side stuff with how the lawmakers were using the labor movement to further their own laws, and helping Anjelique with her anti-clockwork fervor was sort of how I painted it in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
It just didn't come to the forefront. It never really was a thread we followed, but that was how I pictured Aldo's story going. Had you not detonated the bomb, he would have blown up. So you saved his life. Good job.
So there was somebody who I was talking to way back when who told me, like, I knew what the bomb did. If the bomb went off, if you want to roll it. Oh shit, I almost forgot. You guys want to guess how much HP Saruk had at the end of all of the stuff? Don't worry about it. I'll just tell you, he had 69.
Nice. How much did Ruffy have? Like 5?
10.
That's nice. Much worse.
I'll roll the Pyronite damage so we can see. Rick, you look like you had something you wanted to say too.
I just want to say, this is the second or third campaign you and I've been able to play at your table, Steve, and I think everybody agrees it's an honor and privilege to bring your organization, your storytelling, and your imagination to allow us friends who have played together before come together and become even closer, but open our doors and gather new friends to our party and get to know some really, really fantastic people through the process. So thank you. It's been amazing.
Yes,
and, I really, really, really appreciate all that you've done and the championing and pioneering you've done in this space. So
thank you. I mean, to be honest, like, I'm sure every GM out there would spend their whole life going from like table to table just to find a group as awesome as you guys once. So the fact that I've been able to do it multiple times is just a gift into of itself. So thank you guys for being so awesome. And I'll continue to try to meet the bar that you guys are already raising super high, if that makes sense.
Hell yeah.
Speaking of, what's on deck for the next 6 months?
Well, that's an interesting question. We're still sorting out the specifics. Between now and the end of the year, we'll probably be doing some smaller projects, one-shots, small arcs, potentially other systems. You know, we're looking to explore that. Like last time we ended Abomination Vaults, we went on a stretch where we played Force and Destiny. We played Vampire the Masquerade. We played some smaller one. Raycats, things like that, right?
Raycats, yes, yeah.
So we can do smaller bite-sized stuff that'll be, happening weekly, sporadically as we kind of settle in. I think internally our goal is targeting another bigger, like more long-term campaign, probably like January of next year, roughly, is our kind of what we're hoping for. So between now and the end of the year, we just get to have fun. Not that this isn't fun, but different kind of fun, different kind of palate cleanser, and let's just do things that we've wanted to try and just have some silly times with it.
Casual fun that doesn't require lots and lots and lots and lots of prep and organizing behind the screen, and
just not as deep, right? Yeah, not as deep as it takes to run something like this, but still fun. Like Raycast, we had such a silly time last time. I'd love to do stuff like that. Star Wars is fun. Vampire, I still want to go back and I had my Blade character sheet here for like a year.
Cypher Systems gate.
Yeah, Cypher. Avatar is a fun system that I've ran once or twice. I'd love to run more of that. Like, there's so much stuff that I want to do with you guys. Before we go, though, I do want to do a quick, like Tommy was saying. So if the bomb explodes, each bomb, by the way, does 50 d6 fire and 50 d6 bludgeoning damage.
Oh God, we've been dead.
350 damage is what it would have been. Now, all you have to make is a basic reflex saving throw. Look at those numbers, by the way. 160 bludgeoning and 191 fire. That was a high roll, I think. DC 35. Oh, Saruk. Okay, so Saruk and Anita both succeeded and only took half that damage. So you guys each took about
Still dead.
175 damage. I think that's still enough to
barely
kill
over
you.
my max HP. Boo.
DC's 33, so Hal almost critically failed and took 700 damage. But no, you guys each took the full 350 damage. If you critically succeed, you're cool though. You don't take any damage. So no. Oh, there's the hero pointing to the critical fail. That's what we like to see. So yeah, that's gonna do it for Alkenstar. We started this thing with a hope and a dream, and honestly, when we started this back in the day, we didn't even know what the campaign was gonna be. We said, "Hey, Alkenstar's coming out. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna have this Foundry implementation. Let's do it." We made up our little story, and we hoped it was gonna go well. And here we are, a year and a half later. Told the story, even if it was a little abbreviated at the end. I wouldn't have given up this for anything. So thank you guys so much again for playing with me. And we can't go away without one very, very, very important thing.
Yes.
Our patrons who make this possible. They come, they give us money for what we do. They love watching our show. They love all the, the maps we make and the resources we provide to help other GMs run Alkenstar. Because whenever we make stuff here for this, like the chase map I did today, I will release that on our Discord, on our Patreon for other people to use for their games. So let's give a shout out to all of our patrons who make this possible. The list is long. It's over 20 names at this point.
One name.
Oh my God! Someone tell me how to say it.
Oh no.
Buetch. Bushed.
Boosh.
A buetich.
Anything is better than your first guess.
Anything
Anything is better.
Badger.
All right, we're coming around to the top of the name. Thank you, patrons. Huge shouts and shout outs and awesome. Why is it taking so long to come up? Come on, I put too many blank spaces at the end.
Just one more time, and patience.
Big shout out: David Sims, Ace, Jason Irvin, Ellie Boyle, Alejandro Porras, Anish Herman, Sam Skaggs, Jay, Paul G, J. Michael Spencer, David Morrison, Jerome Rachetti, Philip Kuhn, John Kahi, Mike Butch, Vlad Scoopy, Wizard Skills, Bear, Arive, Badger, and John Wentworth. You guys are awesome, amazing. There are some names on there that have recently, like even if you weren't active, they did support us between our last episode and here. I want to make sure they all got the shout out for the final episode. You guys are awesome.
Thank you.
Well,
Muchas
guys,
gracias.
you know what? Yeah, it wasn't Mike Bitch, but it wasn't far off. Guys, you know what though? Boost there. That's gonna do it for us this week, this campaign, this month, this lifetime. Maybe not lifetime. There's a chance we go back, but it's gonna do it. It's gonna do it for us in Alkenstar. Goodbye, Alkenstar. Hello, something else in the future. Big,
All the
huge.
magic.
Yeah, bring back the magic. Big Shanks.
Big Shanks.
Big Shanks. Big thanks to Ninna, Richard, Ricardo, and Tommy for playing this entire thing, not just tonight, but for everything you guys have brought to the table. It's been a fun campaign playing with you guys. Yeah, I think we've said it all. We could talk forever about how awesome this experience was.
There's one more thing we could say.
Oh yeah,
Hi, I'm the professional dungeon master. Did you show up from that stream raid and you haven't heard this over and over again, week in and week out? Tight. Follow that link, get in the Discord, come play cool games with Tommy. Okay, cool.
Yeah, go support Tommy, Black Dragon Gaming on all the links are out there, Patreon, YouTube, etc. He runs, like you said, 36 hours of games a week, not including this. So, whew. And when you're not playing that, you're playing Baldur's Gate. So,
right, yeah.
Yep. Goodbye, Alkenstar. In the end, we were all okay.
Somehow.
Annie, are you okay?
Barely, yeah.
You should have said that while she was
She's
disarming
fighting
the
with
bomb.
her lips right now.
Normally, this is when I tell you when we're going to be back, but this one I actually don't know when we're going to be back. Keep an eye on the channel. Keep an eye on our Discord. It's the best place to keep in contact with us. Until we see you again, everyone, please stay safe and stay healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Goodbye, everyone. Until we meet again.
Shagla.
Oh, we need that like
Howdy,
sad
Outlaws?
cowboy music. Yeah, like What's the opposite of howdy for cowboy speak?
Unhowdy.
Unhowdy.
Yeah.
Yo.
Oh, you're not outlaws anymore. I
Y'all
can't call
come
you
back in
outlaws.
6 months when we're done on to the next game now. You hear? There you go. Got it.
You don't know what Reffy did. He was drifting.
Horse noises.
We need
Oh
that
my
sad like
fucking
cowboy
God.
riding into the sunset music. Also, huge shout out to Mecha Maya, who's also on our list of patron supporters, but has been here watching the show tonight,
Maya.
live in chat, and everyone else that chatted with us tonight. You guys are all awesome, but Maya especially is active in chat right now, so thank you, Maya. See you guys sometime in the future.